The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is massive announcement, and the Hawk has arrived. Super Boost Thursday Night Football, Thursday, December 9th. Big day. Shout out to Tony for that beat drop. It always hits right on time and sounds so absolutely gorgeous. Today's a massive day because today is a day where we finally get a chance to let all of you beautiful people know what the hell, I've been cooking for the last couple months. It's been incredibly stressful. It's been hard to get on the microphone every single day as a human who doesn't have the biggest filter and not just drop the news, boom, out of nowhere. But since I was literally in the middle of the negotiations myself, if I was to do that, I could potentially lost leverage. And even though I did dance early a few times, all right, there was a couple times I danced early, which potentially took the ball out of my end of the court. Where the thing happened and how it ended up being is absolutely magical. And I'm so incredibly thankful for this beautiful December 9th. I think it's going to be a day that's going to be remembered forever in this company. And I can't wait to tell stories about today, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, whether I'm alive or in the next world, saying, hey, you should have seen what the fuck we did on December 9th. Today should be really cool, and I can't thank you all enough, and you'll hear that a lot today, I assume. But let's get to the show. AJ Hawk will be joining us in the next hour. He has his first Super Boost up on FanDuel right now for tonight's game. The Steelers travel to Minnesota, where the Vikings are favored by 3 points in this Thursday night football clash. We'll talk to Steve Smith in the third hour today. He'll be out on the field in the pregame. Okay. He's been fucking electrifying on Thursday Night Football. Yeah. If you haven't been watching the kickoff shows or the postgame shows or whenever Steve Smith is on Thursdays, he has been fantastic. Now, he has buried some players that we think highly of, and he's done that whole thing. I love it. I enjoy it. I can't wait to chat with him again in the third hour. Ian Rapoport will be with us here in about 10 minutes or so to chit-chat about what's going on in this game. Dalvin Cook is allegedly back with a shoulder injury. He'll play tonight. We don't know if that's true or not. Is there COVID happening in any of these two teams like it's happening everywhere else in the NFL right now? Speaking of that, who all has COVID? We should get a lot of great information from the rap sheet in about 10 minutes. Let's go to the boys here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, sitting at the toxic table. You guys kind of know what's going on today, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. But then you said, you talked about, I still feel like I have no idea. I'm very excited for noon. I really am. I mean, obviously I know kind of the origin of it, but I still am very surprised to see what's coming at noon.
Yeah. So you guys have no idea.
No.
That's the cool thing about it. Foxy and I made this video yesterday, and the deal, I literally just signed it. What was that? Yesterday. That was yesterday.
On that desk.
Yes. On your desk, which is despicable.
Yeah. Brick shavings.
It is
that bad.
It is the worst desk I've ever seen. The top of it is brutalized. It's like, what the fuck do you do for a living when you look at that desk? And it's the only one that had wheels on it that we can move over, which makes this announcement even more hilarious. We did not have a desk that we can move around the office other than Connor's, whose. What do you literally just drive like your pen or pencil into that thing and just scratch it all up?
No, I mean, I didn't know crumbs could get engraved in wooden tables, first of all, but I think it's usually from the Hot Wheels that I'll bring in whenever I just need a little...
That's literally what it looks like you're using those little skateboards.
Yeah, it looks like it's a full-time Bloody Knuckles desk. Like, it's all it's used for.
I mean, I will.
Diggs. That's what it feels like. That desk is taking a trip back in time to the things that happened before we had the internet on our phone. These kids have no idea what it was like. To literally just sit across from each other and punch each other, see who's the first to bleed.
Nothing better.
That's the game. Yeah. Hey, here's a fun one. Put your knuckles right down on the desk, and then we're going to shoot a quarter into it. Yeah, we're going to slingshot. Can't do anything more, can't do anything less, but we're allowed to slingshot this quarter, and if it hits and you bleed, I get a point. Okay, we'll do that again. I mean, those were the good old days, I guess. And you would never understand any of that. But you guys have no clue what's going on.
No idea. But I get the Bloody Knuckles. We used to play Bloody Knuckles here and there. I mean, we only played to 5. I assume you guys are playing to 21 or something.
We played until someone quit.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And there ain't no quitting this bunch, is there?
No.
No. Unless
way.
we're retiring from football.
Hell yeah.
And that will get talked about today a little bit as we go on. But Foxy went to work deep into the night last night, by the way. Yep. And I didn't know what to expect. This is a lengthy announcement.
Well, that's what surprised me.
This is going to be a lengthy announcement. What was originally maybe going to be like a 90-second or a minute thing, because that is what, the internet calls for. Sure. Mm-hmm. And it would be a quick in or out. I don't think this particular one should have been treated as such. And Foxy, who's been a dog since the beginning of this entire thing, was, hey, do whatever you got to do, man. Whatever. And I'm like, hey, this is going to suck. If I talk long, I actually told him, hey, I'm going to try to cut this promo in a fashion where it is as easy for you to do as possible. And then I got into that thing, and I was like 10 minutes into it, and I was like, God damn, Foxy, I'm so sorry. There is no end in sight. And Foxy's holding the new iPhone while this is all happening, and he has no idea what the fuck I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. So Foxy's like reacting while I'm doing this thing, like behind the camera. And that was pretty fun while I was doing it, like watching Foxy. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was cool. And then he edited it through. It's like a little mini doc that's coming out at 12:02, basically.
Yeah, the length of it was warranted. I'll say that. And I'm literally so excited. I'm so juiced up. I feel like I'm going to puke and say all the news that's coming out. So I'm glad I don't have to speak like you do for the next, hour or so.
Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday whenever I potentially had forgot that we were going to go live from 11 to 2 because I have to hop on a plane to fly to LA for SmackDown tomorrow night, and I can't miss Pittsburgh Vikings tonight with the AJ Hawk Super Boost on the line, the first of hopefully many for the Hawk to fly us through those wonderful heavenly gates of beating the shit out of FanDuel for a lot of money in a Super Boost fashion. So I'm heading out, and I didn't know we were going to do 11 to 2 at the time, where I was like, oh yeah, we'll announce it. We'll lead off the show with it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I said. We'll lead off the show. And then I went into like a little bit of it's the right thing to do. Real got high and mighty too. Really felt good about myself. And then Connor was like, noon tomorrow or and it was like, oh shit, are we gonna go at 11:05 maybe? Yeah. But noon just sounds right.
Yeah. Nice round number.
Uh-huh.
But what Foxy just said there, it is going to be very difficult for the next 51 minutes to just sit on this thing. Mm-hmm. And I assume there's a lot of people guessing in the comments at youtube.com/the Pat McAfee Show. And I can't thank you guys enough. There's been a lot of people sending out what they think it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the Instagram comments sections of different photos that I've posted that have been pivotal moments during this entire negotiation process, or it's on Twitter, or it's on Instagram. I mean, or on YouTube. There's a lot of people guessing, and I can't thank you all enough for being this invested in this dumbass show. I don't think anybody has guessed it yet. I don't think.
I haven't seen anybody. I've seen a lot of, hey, we're going to Pittsburgh because we're buying the Pirates, baby.
I did see a couple of those, and I want to let everybody know I do appreciate the thought that I could potentially buy the Pittsburgh Pirates, or we could maybe even get into the professional athletics version. There was other people saying we're potentially up for the Broncos because the Broncos are up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when this announcement comes, you'll say, maybe, but not right now. That's not the case. I also heard maybe we're going back to do a Pittsburgh local sports talk show.
Yeah.
Special. There's a chance.
How about it?
Hey, maybe. It's 12:02. It's going to be tough to go into Double M's world, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So you got to think. I had to think about a lot of things whenever this decision was being made. A lot of people think we're maybe going to an exclusive platform deal. Maybe.
We'll see,
a lot of people think we're partnering with maybe, a league or two. Maybe. I've already said we're doing a FanDuel Igloo, so. Oh, the Igloo, though, is going to be. We already got a new office coming, so that can't be the big news.
No.
Oh, so what is it?
I still don't know.
Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out about 49 minutes or so. Cannot wait for the people to find out, and I can't thank you all enough for joining us. Let's go and start talking about tonight's game, shall we? Before we get Ian Rapoport on, who have the inside information. At Tone Diggs, diehard Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I think I'm actually kind of excited that you got screwed out of your Super Boost a couple weeks ago or whatever for the Lions-Vikings last week. Because you wouldn't have been able to make a pick on this particular game because it's a Steelers game. So it almost works out perfectly that Mike Zimmer called a Hail Mary defense on the 15-yard line last play of the game for Jared Goff to throw a Todd, who now gets sick.
Yeah.
Come on.
Jared Goff got sick.
You're allergic to winning, Pat.
Oh, no. It's the flu. The flu is running through. But whatever the case, let's not bury the Lions. They don't deserve it. They just got their first win. Things are good. MCDC's having a good time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom. Everybody's sick.
They're all partying, celebrating their Super Bowl win from Sunday.
Hey, they're going around with the fine people at Detroit saying we haven't been able to do this in 366 days.
MCDC knows what it's like to go 0-16. And he said, take the week off, man. You guys deserved it. No practice.
Anyway, so congrats to the Lions. Hope everybody's healthy.
Yeah, good luck, Lions.
Love you.
So the Lions obviously broke the Diggs heater horse super boost.
Right.
But with the Steelers in the game tonight, is tonight make or break for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, I think it potentially
Even though
is.
they're getting 3 points,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to win in the sports book's eyes and a lot of people's eyes, even though the Vikings just lost to the Lions a few days ago. This is a make or break game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a Steeler fan, you got to feel pretty good about that because just 1 week ago, it was all over.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do one last round, one for the Gipper with Roethlisberger, and then let's get Matt Corral in here. And Mike Tomlin said, no. Hope the alum are proud of the effort we just put on the field. Hope everybody could just shut the fuck up, basically. I'm Mike Tomlin. I've never had a losing season. You never said anything bad or disparaging about the team, but you certainly said, looks like we're going to stink this year.
Ooh.
Quite a change in tune. Imagine if they were to win tonight all of a sudden and start going on a run. It would be a whole different world, right? Is that how the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboy, Tone Diggs is feeling or no?
Always want them to win. Always want them to be in the playoffs. When you're from Pittsburgh, though, it's basically like if you're not winning the Super Bowl, it's a disappointing season. And do I see them winning the Super Bowl this year? No. As far as tonight's concerned, we have the 31st ranked rushing defense versus the 32nd ranked rushing defense. So I believe whoever runs the ball better tonight will win the game. If I was doing the boost tonight, I probably would have went with a rushing over, something along those lines.
So you didn't have to pick the game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Naj who's going to run all over.
Yeah.
I mean, Dalvin Cook coming back, allegedly, we'll find out in about 2 minutes from Ian Rapoport, and he has all the inside information on the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
This guy knows everything going on, all the COVID caves happening everywhere and everything like that. So I can't wait to hear who is in and who is out tonight, but a lot of Naj tonight, you're saying, huh? A lot of Najee Harris tonight.
Well, yeah, and then you got Ben on a short week. Is his shoulder a little sore from throwing on Sunday? But then you also have
some Toradol.
primetime Kirk Cousins, who stinks in primetime. And then I'm also worried, did AJ, is this a spite bet? Because he hates the fucking Vikings because
I don't care.
Yeah. He's been good.
I don't care as long as it hits, dude.
I don't care either as long as it hits.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, you guys have a coin that's like 38-1 or something like that.
That's true. The only time the loss was Detroit Red Wings, and we know that.
Yeah, so the Red Wings are terrible.
Yeah, Detroit.
And keep the octopi off the ice, okay? Those are my favorite fucking fish.
Yeah, please.
Tradition. How about the aliens of the sea that you guys are just tossing around because you finally had success up
They're
there?
clubbing them to death beforehand too. I mean, those aren't live octopi.
What?
No,
What?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
What?
What? Yeah, they're killing all these things and then just tossing them.
Enough, okay? And the good
God.
news is you guys won't score 3 or do whatever it takes to throw the octopi on the ice.
I think they're back.
No, they stink. But anyways, they're the only ones that kind of beat the coin. The coin on Hammer Dahn started out as a big joke, and then that thing went like 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, 13-0, and then they kept going and growing and growing, and then the Detroit Red Wings tied and pushed. So it was something like 38-0-1 at one point.
Yeah.
So I don't care why AJ's picking whatever he's picking. No. I know he doesn't have any power rankings. He's never looked at the numbers. He has no clue except for, boom.
Like that.
And by the way, he's really good at it. And Ohio's about to have gambling, so he's about to potentially even benefit from that whole thing. They're saying potentially 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick turnaround.
That's 3 weeks.
That's right.
That's like the classic, hey, see you next year that people do, and it's only like 2 weeks away. So whenever they put in a headline like 2022, it's like, I think people maybe initially thought, oh, that's far away. No, that's
No. Right around the corner.
that's couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
What if Ohio just gets in there 72-12? Let's go,
Hey, here we
AJ
go.
Hawk.
Let's go.
Imagine if AJ Hawk gets on this goddamn heater. We talked about this yesterday. The people of Ohio will probably be able to bet alongside the Hawk Super Boost.
Yes.
And Evan Foxy will never be allowed to do it.
Crazy.
That's a shame, and it's not even legal yet in their state.
No.
It hasn't even dropped in their state, and these people will be able to benefit from the heater that starts tonight. And there's a man who's in Indiana and is from Michigan, two states that have it and are a part of the growth of the entire thing. Can't do it.
Well, I'm staying out of this one tonight. I'm not rooting against you guys. I'm definitely rooting for you guys. I'm going to completely take myself out of this.
No, Foxy, take the Vikings.
You don't get to participate.
Joining us now.
You'll root for
The
nothing
Lions
like
are
it.
undefeated against these teams. Both teams
Watch
playing
the
tonight.
news,
So
bro.
I'm good.
My
Staying
God.
out of
Actually,
this
they
one.
lost to the Vikings early in the season, but good job.
1-1-1.
Hey, not a bad. That's your best. That's got to be the best record you guys have ever had.
Damn good record.
Joining us now to tell us a little bit more about tonight's game and who potentially has an advantage when it comes to the medical and inside information world from the NFL.com and NFL Network and the NFL as a whole, senior NFL insider, host of the weekly wrap up with Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
How are you doing, man?
Man, big day for you. Are you excited?
Massive day, dude. Not just big day, massive day. Come on.
So, I heard a little bit about maybe what the news would be.
You don't know shit, Ian. You
No,
don't-
I actually heard a little bit. This could be really interesting. Could be really interesting.
Okay, so who is the
Really interesting.
Oh, you can't give up your sources, huh? That's interesting. This is one of those things he would say, I knew all along.
Of course. You got to wait a little bit, but I mean, and this is kind of unfortunately sometimes in my world, someone will be like, "Hey, look, I'm going to have news, but you can't say it yet because we're still on the practice field or whatever." This is one of those situations, so the people got to wait. But I have a little inkling, and it feels big.
Oh yeah. So this is like when I was in the NFL, and I'd be at the practice, and then we go inside, and then the insiders would all have information from the practice I was just at, and I'm like, "What the fuck Hey, Vinny, did you know old buddy popped his groin? He's out this weekend today." Like we literally just saw him. Yeah, they would know before. So now you're saying that you potentially know my deal before me. This guy before I. This guy. Oh,
Get out of town.
Oh, get out of town. You don't know anything.
You'll be. I think you'll be happy.
Oh, okay, good news. Yeah, I am happy. I'm pumped. And I'm also thankful for you joining us yet again for another weekly wrap-up around the NFL with your inside information shit that we don't know. That is wild if he does have it. That'd be awesome.
Kind of bullshit.
That'd be awesome. Because then there'll come a day where us and the rap here are in the same room. And I'll say, Ian, who the fuck is the leaker of the information?
Yeah.
And then also, he'll give up all his sources to us.
Has to.
That'll happen. Maybe. I don't know.
Did you guys watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's a scene in Ted Lasso where there's like the assistant. I don't know how much I should give away. I mean, it's been a month. We can do spoilers, right? Or no?
I don't know, because they released it one episode at a time.
Brutal.
Anyway, there's a scene involving a reporter and sources where I literally rolled my eyes and I'm like, if this was reality, I would have to do a different job or something. And it did not show reporters in the most accurate light, I would say, and it was very annoying to me.
Well,
I won't give it up because the people might not have seen it.
Okay, it's very nice of you. That's big-time journalism out of you, not giving any spoilers while also giving a peek inside to what life is, actuality as a reporter and an insider. Thank you for that, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you for that, Ian. Let's talk a little bit about tonight's game. Let's dive back into your world a little bit. Dalvin Cook is back tonight because Diggs just gave us a stat. It's the 32nd ranked rushing defense against the number 30 or 31 rushing defense. That's a big-time night for Najee Harris and Dalvin Cook if he's back. I don't think any of us expected that, though, right?
I did not expect it. The Dalvin Cook situation is wild. So he had a torn labrum, and then he tore his other labrum in the shoulder, not the hip. And the word was he was going to miss a couple games, probably 2, but maybe 3, then be back for the stretch run. And, for the Vikings, that would basically mean, do they make the playoffs or not? And then my esteemed colleague / memo robot, Tom Pelissero,
There we go. There we go.
and covering the game tonight, reports that it's kind of looking like Dalvin's going to play. And I don't really know what to expect as far as how he is going to look and what's going to happen when he takes a hit. I don't think anybody does. But just the fact that he may be active, just the fact that he could get a couple runs, that energy, that's tough to quantify, that energy. That's important.
Okay, how about on the is there any other injuries or COVID we should look out for with the Vikings that could pop up before game time? And how about in Pittsburgh as well?
So for Pittsburgh, first of all, Adam Thielen obviously not going to play. I think we knew that.
Yep.
He's got the high ankle, so he misses this one and, probably another one and maybe another one after that. And I think if you are someone who is a fan of receivers, you will see Justin Jefferson on display tonight. He is very good. I don't know how much time people have spent watching him. He's a beast, and I'll be curious how much attention he gets without Thielen. That's kind of the only.
Hey, second overall in the NFL right now in receiving yards, Justin Jefferson.
That's crazy. But then, like, do they double him? Like, how much attention do they give him without Thielen on the other side? Like, that's kind of it's going to be interesting to see how he is treated. Like, is he, if he's a number one receivers, if you got nothing else, you double them, right? I mean, that's why CeeDee Lamb struggled so much when Amari Cooper was out for the Cowboys. So we'll see that tonight. And then the other one for the Steelers, Chase Claypool was dealing with a toe. Then it was a full participant this week. That's a very good sign. And then Roethlisberger has, I think, 4 or 5 injuries, but he's going to play because he always plays.
Hey, boy, Ben.
Warrior.
Hey, boy, Ben. Okay, so we're excited for tonight's game. Vikings favored by 3 at home. AJ Hawk Super Boost Steelers money line. I believe it's at plus 180. Boosted at FanDuel only. That's the Hawk Has Arrived Super Boost that we just put up, I think, like an hour ago on FanDuel. Let's hit this one.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go.
And now let's hit the next one.
What?
And the next one.
What?
And we're going on to next Sunday.
What?
Okay. Ian, that was a little political joke. You hear that?
I got it.
I mean, that was internet mostly, but political, I guess, because that guy somehow was going to represent people. That's awesome.
That basically ruined a career right there. I mean, it did.
I mean,
not your career. But.
Isn't your career, though, like speaking, though? Isn't that a big part of the career? So didn't he kind of?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, by the way, you should be able to say something on stage and know how people are going to react, and that's basically your job. And yeah,
if you're in charge of anything. Yeah, I don't know. That's just something you should think about, I think, whenever we do the whole voting process. But I am too dumb to even give my opinion because nobody should be swayed by anything that this idiot says. But we should potentially be by what this guy says. Going into the weekend, COVID, flu, sickness. Feels like, is this what the NFL is going to look like for the rest of the season? It feels like it's really hitting everywhere right now.
I was thinking about this with the Lions because the Lions, it's like my cousin Vinny where the whole store got the flu. Like, it seems like all the Lions have the flu. And this is what like December used to be when we used to report on the flu, like how many players were, did they take a separate plane? I remember that was like a revolutionary thing. Now people take separate planes all the time because of COVID. This used to be like a big thing. How many players are sick? And now we have, some COVID issues. I think it's fair to say a little more COVID issues than there have been, certainly than there were in the first part of the season. So, it seems like every other day there's some sort of COVID thing. The Chargers, for instance, I would say probably get Mike Williams back. We'll see if Keenan Allen gets back, but probably get Mike Williams and Chris Harris back. I think that's going to be interesting. Both those guys are on the COVID list as a close contact. There's a lot of sickness news now, and I think it's definitely something we're going to be focusing on the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Come on, you down with the sickness. Come on, you down with the sickness. I don't like it. I want everybody to be healthy. Yeah. I want everybody to be good. That'd help out everything, I think. You know what I mean, Ian?
That was one thing. Like, there was not a lot of great things about having to wear a mask for basically an entire year. There was no flu last year. It didn't exist. COVID was bad, so that was terrible. So there was no flu.
So how did we not kill it off, you think?
It's a fantastic question.
That's real. I wonder. Is it just like enough people had the baton?
Yeah.
Like enough people carried the baton of the flu, even though we didn't hear about it. And then it was back. Flu was like, oh, thank God, fucking get those masks out of the way.
Flu was like, this is my time. Like, seize the opportunity, flu, which is not great for us.
Well, that's just inside information. Obviously, you're just doing your job there. Wow. You're not doing it. You don't want this. Hey, these are all. Listen, this is reality. Okay, we wish it was like this, but we are in reality, and we have to act as such. Go ahead, Ty.
Rap sheet. We saw yesterday Jair Alexander was back doing some individual stuff, and then Aaron told us on Tuesday that Bakhtiari probably wasn't going to play this Sunday. Is the timeline for those guys still about the same as it was? Like, are we expecting them to be back in the next couple weeks here?
Did you see Bakhtiari's response to your video?
Yeah. HIPAA. Yeah. Am I doing this right? Or
pretty good.
Yeah.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah. Bakhtiari, by the way, noted hilarious human. Mm-hmm. Everybody says. Yeah. We don't ever get to see it because it's behind closed doors, but I guess he is the guy in the locker room.
No, he is a very, very funny, and he's a great guy. And he and I will sometimes, talk from time to time, and then I ask him something about himself, and he says nothing. It's actually kind of neat.
I like that.
I gotta live. I got a family to feed.
Yeah, well, that's why I like the situation we're in right now because you're saying, "Oh, I know," and it's like, well, I mean, do you? And I am literally now to be candid. Ian Rapoport knew about the retirement when it happened.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
He knew about. He did. He was a part of the retirement press conference. Actually,
yeah.
Interesting.
He held on.
One
to
of the great moments of my life.
Hey, you did great acting. What'd you? Oh, is this Roger Goodell? Yeah, that's what you said, right? Is this Roger Goodell's press? Oh no. And we get the fuck out of here. It was awesome.
This is why I should have more roles on Comedy Central and other comedic organizations. But anyway,
maybe Ted Lasso.
So Bakhtiari. So the Packers is a crazy situation.
Hold on.
We spend so much.
You're saying you can't spell comedian without Ian? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you are? Is that where you're?
I am actually really funny. People don't know this.
Oh no! If you tell other people,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Typically, you're not.
It's over now.
Yeah.
That might have been. You might have got canceled from the funny train because telling people you're funny. Yeah.
Well, he never said he was humble, so
true.
Maybe
true. Well, you've made us laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Numerous.
Here and there, yeah.
All the time. It's going to be tough now, though, after you said, I am funny to us, though.
I mean, his Instagram
Right, because then you sort of lose the element of surprise.
Well, yeah, the expectation.
Wow, that guy was funny.
The expectation goes up, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we're going to judge you alongside Bill Burr, dude.
Have to.
All right, let's get to it.
Tell us a joke,
Hey, come on, Bill. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, dude. All right, let's get to it. We appreciate you, Ian. You're the best.
The only thing I have to deal with now is when I try to tell a joke to my sons and they will tell me that it's not funny and it's a dad, because they know what a dad joke is now, and they will tell me this is a dad joke and this is why it's not funny. It's really
you know what's interesting?
Not a great situation.
My dad, Tim, didn't do a lot of dad jokes. I wasn't around a lot of people with dad jokes, so I'll hear a dad joke, I guess, that is just a classic street joke that has been used for a long time, and he'll get a pretty good pop out of me. I'm like, oh, that's really clever. It's been told for 1,000 years. Oh, okay, all right. Madcap Moss comes out on Friday Night SmackDown, and he'll tell these jokes, and they are so basic, and I'm like, I'm pretty fucking clever, actually. And then somebody has to tell me, no, that has been a joke for a long, long time. I'm like, oh, I didn't know.
Okay.
I was kicking a ball against a wall. I apologize. Ian, you're about to get into something there before you told us that you were a stand-up.
Right, no, I am. But the Packers situation is crazy. Obviously, the Packers are really good, right? Yes. And this time, the only thing that matters, I feel like this time of year, is how healthy you are. So the Packers situation, they got Jair Alexander coming back to practice. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he plays this week. He's not doing very much. He's doing individual drills. But just the fact that he was able to get himself back here from a significant shoulder injury, not needing surgery, rehab for months, that's a good sign that he will play at some point before December. I think Bakhtiari's timeline is probably the same as it was, which is, middle to late December. And I hate to say this, but who really cares? Because they're going to make the playoffs. So just getting back to the playoffs is the only important thing. And then you got Zadarius Smith, who should be back after having back surgery. I think late December is probably his timeline. They may be the only team in the NFL that will be healthier in late December than they were in October and November.
And they have an incredible record already. It's unfathomable what they've been able to do. If those guys all come back, mesh well, and play well, that seems like you're adding a team almost, and it's like another trade deadline.
That's what
coming through.
And that's what it's going to feel like. And then there's also new player energy, and you're kind of Bakhtiari is. I mean, these guys are all really. And Bakhtiari is one of the best in the NFL. Jair Alexander,
Pro Bowlers, right?
All three of them are Pro Bowlers.
I mean, these are this is energy. This is instant. Anyway, this is good for the Packers.
And Aaron's got an immobile pinky toe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's we got to worry about that. He's potentially getting surgery at some point during the year. It's not off the table. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. No surgery this week, which was interesting. I did notice he had some comments on some of the reporting on his toe, which was interesting comments. I took note of those.
What did he say? I didn't hear what he said.
On your show.
Oh, I did hear.
Yeah. He was talking about maybe it's he mentioned a couple options about who might have provided the information to whatever reporters maybe.
Source situation.
Okay. That was just kind of interesting.
I
wrote it down.
Were you involved in that reporting, or was it somebody else's report?
That was me, as a matter of fact.
Oh! So you're in the position that I'm currently in with you with news. Wow, this is awesome.
Coming full circle.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you, Ian. You're awesome, man.
great.
That is amazing. So, because you on Good Morning Football, I think you said you gave us a shout out, which we appreciate immensely. That was because during that show, you felt as if you were maybe personally attacked.
Well, the reason I mentioned you guys is because Rodgers confirmed my report that he was not going to have surgery. So it was really about this guy, but I also mentioned you as well. And then he kind of mentioned like where it may come from and whatever. And it's in the binder. It's in the binder.
Okay, awesome for you to keep in mind. We love Good Morning Football, by the way. Thanks for the shout out over there. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Rashid.
Appreciate it, even though it was just confirming yourself. I mean, I do appreciate you letting us be a part of it. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rap Sheet, there's been way too much news about the Jags and James Robinson. What the hell's going on there? Why won't they let him play? And are they probably going to move on from him and go with Travis Etienne next year?
I have to say, like, I've been a little surprised by this news cycle. And, I'm not going to say that I wasn't watching the wee minutes of a blowout Jaguars loss. Obviously I was watching all of the games intently, equally.
Oh, yeah.
But it was, to have a player, your best player, benched, and I get it, he fumbled, okay. But to have your best player benched and then have your quarterback come back and say, that's a guy we need on the field, I don't know. It's not alarming, but it's just not a situation you get all the time. I mean, a rookie quarterback coming and saying, actually, this coaching decision maybe wasn't right. We need this guy on the field. I was surprised by this, and there's been a couple things with the Jaguars where it sort of raised my eyebrows. I still think there's a chance they're okay, but it has been a really difficult season, a learning curve for Urban Meyer. I would say a really steep learning curve.
Yeah,
Who cares?
He's done.
He's gone.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I feel terrible for him.
Yeah.
I feel terrible for a lot of great football players that are down there and everything like that. And they're in the middle of a rebuild, and maybe they'll be all the way back. But who cares? I mean, they stink, huh? Is the culture being built behind the scenes down there, you think? Is anybody buying in? When you lose, and whenever things like, I don't want to bring it up, Chop house. When things like that happen, it's not good. That's not an easy way to get people to continue to want to buy into what you're doing. Are you hearing anything behind the scenes down there about they're buying in and it's just a process here that they're going to go through?
I mean, it's so hard to keep everyone on the same page when you're losing. It's like people talk about, rebuilding and you want to get the number one pick. Yes. Let's say you're the Texans. Yes. Having the number one pick would be amazing. But not everyone is kind of it seems the Lions are pretty together, even though they're terrible.
They knew it.
It feels like they still believe, even though they're bad. And I think with the Texans, what you've had is players fighting old regime versus new regime, kind of that clash, which is why you saw Justin Reed suspended, Zach Cunningham was waived. And I think with the Jaguars, there's a little bit of that same sort of old regime, new regime frustration. It's not that you can't get over it, but you have to pay attention to all of it. And I hope and think this week that Urban Meyer has all right, we need to get ahead of this. I need to talk to the player. I need to fix this. I need to make sure that if we do something coaching-wise that affects, one of our best players, everyone at least has to understand how this helps us win in the future.
Go ahead, Tom.
Did Joe Brady and Matt Rule get in a fist fight? What happened down in Carolina?
It's classic. What if they did?
No fist fight. As far as I know.
Maybe.
It was really not working. And it's funny. There's some news, we talked about this, where it happens and I'm legitimately surprised. I was not surprised with this one because it was not working. Joe Brady got so much fanfare. He got 5 head coaching interviews. Somebody could have hired him because he was really impressive. And then you watch, the offense last year was not good.
No Christian McCaffrey.
And he wanted to throw it all over the place. And they had McCaffrey, who ended up getting hurt a bunch of times. But, philosophically, him and Rule kind of weren't on the same page. But then Bridgewater was bad last year in Carolina, goes to Denver and is totally fine, starting quarterback. Wow. And then Darnold didn't improve. Cam struggled. It has been a mess. That offense was a mess. So you look at who's the guy in charge of the offense, a lot of times that guy takes the fall.
So you're a Matt Rule guy, it sounds like, huh?
Whoa.
This guy is funny.
Ian, you're the absolute best. Yeah, because, Joe Brady going to the NFL was a massive story out of LSU, especially with the amount of success that Joe Burrow had. His name still has to hold some weight, whether it's the college ranks or you think he's going back to college. Do you know anything about that?
I kind of wondered if Miami might hire him. I think that would be,
Cristobal?
I think and Cristobal did a great job in Oregon, but like you look at the difference between Justin Herbert in the pros versus Justin Herbert in college, like Justin Herbert's a better pro, I think, than he was a college player. The offensive system wasn't great. Having a guy, like an innovative guy, come in and kind of take them to the next level passing-wise in Miami would make a lot of sense. But no, I think Joe Brady will go back to college, probably not the NFL.
Okay, well, good luck, Joe Brady. Hell of a run. Can't wait to see what they do in Carolina. Love the fact that their owner is just like, yeah, if we're not going to win Super Bowl, go ahead and get them out, whatever the case is. No Christian McCaffrey, I think it's like, 10% of your salary cap, too? I think like maybe 8% of your salary cap. He's not playing. Also, one of the most explosive players in the NFL. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but there was a lot of potential whenever Christian was on the field and whenever he wasn't on the field. Joe Brady knows in the coaching profession that could happen. Can't thank you enough for joining us, Ian. Excited to hear what you potentially thought it was or is, and we can't thank you enough every single week for this.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I'll try to. Thanks for having me as always. Congratulations on everything, and I'll try to wait for the announcement, but I'm not going to make any guarantees.
You son of a bitch! You. I know. Like, that's what you do. That's what you do too. You come on this show. You read your little side phone while you're giving a robotic, candid, funny answer, and you look off the screen and you get a text. It's breaking news. You're like, can't wait till this is over so I can go break this news. And I want to let you know we appreciate you for that. You're the best, dude. Thanks for your time. Can't wait to see what you think it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends, NFL.com, NFL and NFL Network senior insider, Ian Rapoport. That son of a bitch.
What a scumbag.
Son of a
Self-proclaimed funny, huh? This guy.
Well, not even. I mean, he does make us laugh a lot.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the fact that he has recognized that for whatever reason, whenever he says things, there's certain things, people do laugh.
You're a funny guy.
His
I make me
Instagram
laugh.
stories.
What's that?
His Instagram stories. He does
yeah.
mess around with the filters. They are funny.
Hold on, his Instagram story, whatever. He got in trouble for a promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
He's kind of an outlaw.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a maverick.
He's a little bit of a menace over there. So he is funny. We do appreciate him. I'll be excited to hear what he thinks.
I wanted to ask you because it is Jacksonville is who cares right now, but you always talk about how you wish Andrew Luck talked more. Do you like that Trevor Lawrence said like, hey, we need this fucking guy on the field?
Well, Trevor Lawrence is in a no-win situation there either.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the leader of the locker room as a very young guy, but also has to be the representative of the team no matter what the team's going in. So if he doesn't say something about his teammate, does he lose the locker room? And if he does say something about his teammate, does he potentially ruffle feathers with the front office and the head coach who are currently in charge of everything? I think you handled it completely right. You should always get your teammates back, I think. And I think being a good teammate is something that a lot of people don't put enough respect on. Like somebody who's a good teammate can do wonderful things to a team. Mm-hmm. Somebody that's a good teammate can change an entire position group, an entire defense. Like, for instance, you watch this Hard Knocks inside the season with the Colts last night. That locker room is filled with, like, good teammates. Yeah. Like, that team legit loves each other, I think. Those types of things can go a long way, and that's why, like, who cares about it? And then I followed up with, like, Trevor Lawrence doesn't deserve this because it seems like everything Trevor does is the right thing.
Yeah.
It's just, will he be trapped in a no-win situation, or will they be able to turn that fucking thing around? I mean, it's going to be very difficult, especially in the NFL, the way the NFL is currently constructed, with how many great teams there are, with everything. There's such a head start for so many teams in the AFC that they would have to keep up with, but people have done it in the past, I guess.
Well, and you've talked about how, like, teams who like each other and are close, like, they go the furthest, and Matthew Slater said this about the Pats, but even on Tuesday, Man in the Arena, like, Strahan, talked about how they were such a close team when they went to London, and that kind of built the camaraderie, and then they wanted to play for each other and win for each other instead of playing for a paycheck or something.
It never gets talked about because the combine and the stats are just so much easier. Here's Jim Caldwell, one of my former head coaches, who wanted Detroit and won.
Yeah.
But not enough.
I don't know.
Did the impossible.
Get out of town.
Super Bowl.
Talented, hardworking, dependable, humble people with high character make better teammates. Better teammates equal better teams, which equal better teams produce more wins, which is all that matters. You know, and that's I think that's one of Bill Polian's greatest traits. He was able to find 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders that kind of were going to be good. They had this personality test that I had to take whenever I was at my my pro day at West Virginia that Mike Tomlin led me through it. And if Mike Tomlin didn't lead me through the workout, I don't think anybody would have came out and watched. I was invited to the combine. It was very, very nice of him. But they had me take this personality test in this room away. It was like 15 minutes long. I forget how many questions it was. They asked the same question like 8, 9 different times through the entire thing. And it was like you had to pass that thing, I think, if you were projected mid-round. If you pass that, okay, you'll fit into our locker room. Okay, then we'll come and get you if we get a chance to. And we just assume that your physical qualities, they have to check as well. But that was a big focal point in the building of a team. Like, hey, we need to build a team here, not a group of athletes. Like, that is why I think the NFL is so complicated in some places, because the combine matters.
Yeah.
Okay, the speed, the explosivity, the ability to flip your hips or make a throw or make a catch or move somebody and everything, that definitely matters. But you only get like 15 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes talking to everybody at the combine, and they're all just basic bullshit answers. That's why you see some coaches take their shirt off, some play basketball, some play rock, paper, scissors, because you're trying to figure out whether or not this is somebody you want to bring into your culture, bring into your room, bring into your team. And I think that can't go understated enough. Like, hey, you need to be a good teammate to get kind of everything else that falls in line whenever that happens.
Well, and that's why like pro days are so important, right? Because at the combine, you're kind of slated with everyone else in your position, but at your pro day, you're kind of with everybody. Like Mac Jones, obviously he's on New England, but he got Devontae Smith to run some routes, and when he wasn't planning on doing anything.
Oh yeah, on his birthday, he went to his birthday party.
Yeah, went to his birthday party.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side of this 4-minute break with some phone calls to wrap up hour 1 here on this.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it because I will immediately go into what's about to happen. So I have to dive out of that a little bit. But we're about 17 minutes away from a massive announcement that'll change the course of everything we got going on, which is really, really cool, and I'm excited for it. On the other side of this 4-minute break, we'll take some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Can't wait to chat with you. Big shout out to Ian Rapoport for joining us. See you in Fort. First hour. We talk sports and rock. Yeah. With AJ Hawk. Yeah. This is not a mock. Yeah. Of a song that's rock. Yeah. Sports talk. Sports talk and rock with AJ Hawk. Yeah. The rock. Yeah. And AJ Sports and talking on the rock. Yeah. The bone. Yeah. Go on home with AJ Hawk. It's rock. Yeah. Sports. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Welcome back. You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question that pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and when we first got it, I would come in here and I would clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit. Yeah, and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, I see, we got a couple, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey man, did you do this? Like, oh no. So, one of them owned up to it. I said, "Look, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you we get you a broom and you help us, we help you. You feel me? And we put together a little I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more."
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah. Hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He's saying, sweeping up. He's like, "Hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you." You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. The Super Boost graphic was just unveiled to the YouTube crew. It is now AJ Hawk's time to fly.
Here we go.
Go.
This man who has been fantastic and impeccable against the spread all season, being able to predict unfathomable results in games throughout the entire year. Now he has the can full of gas and a handful of matches. And hopefully we'll find out how to go on a run that nobody has ever seen before. Yeah. The Hawk has arrived, plus 145, now boosted to plus 180 for the Steelers to win. Tonight's the night, boys.
Here we go, boys.
We'll talk to AJ Hawk here in the second hour. Can't wait to chat with him about how he feels about this Pittsburgh moneyline bet now. He made this 2 days ago. He hasn't wavered, although he has banned Evan Foxy from joining in on the Hawk has arrived Super Boost for the good of the people. He should be excited to carry us into a place that we haven't been in some time.
No.
Back to back. Back to back. Back to back to back to back to back to back. That's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the Super Boost has been ha, 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 literally for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss. The saddle for the Super Boost horse has been tossed around from Gumpy to myself to Tone Diggs. Now it is going on the back of a bird like Avatar. And AJ Hawk is the bird that will fly to higher altitudes than we've ever been before with the Super Boost. And we can't thank him enough.
Thank you, AJ. You go, AJ.
Talking to Steve Smith Sr. here in the third hour of today's show. The boys are here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, at Tone Diggs. Massive announcement coming in 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Actually like 12, but
you get it.
You get it. It's around there. So 12, I mean like 12:02.
Yeah. Right. 12 minutes from now.
Eastern.
Yes.
Standard.
And almost just said it. You know, like it almost like at 12:02, woo, it almost just came out.
Almost there.
It's been very, very
You're
difficult.
almost there.
It's been a long road.
I was talking to Ian whenever Ian was like, oh, I know. I was like, yeah, me too. And I almost just said it.
Yeah.
So
Beat him
imagine
to it.
if I just made it a throwaway right there. That would have been rude, I think, to the amount of work that everybody has put into the incredible community that has followed, I think personally. Now, I did not know we were starting at 11 when I announced the noon thing. I had forgotten about that in the moment, which does happen from time to time on this show while I'm talking.
Right there, though.
We are officially 11 minutes away from being Let's go to the phone, shall we? 5 Energy phone line. Anthony in New York, what's going on? Kais.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Keep moving.
Tone, dude.
Hey, yeah, so I wanted to ask about the Saints, man. What you think of Taysom Hill? Did Sean Payton throw him in there too late, give him no room for error? This draft coming up, not too much to look forward to. Want to get your opinion on the Saints quarterback situation.
Anthony, you a Saints fan?
Yeah, oddly enough, I'm from New York. I'm actually in Austin now, kind of gravitating to the Saints.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe just because Joe and Elon and all of them are down there. I didn't know if that's why you went to Austin. Hey, good live music down there.
Oh, yeah. Great scene.
Oh, the scene's great down there. Oh, my God. Yeah. Austin,
cool.
Austin's a beautiful place. So you're a Saints fan. Do you think that Russell Wilson's coming to the Saints next year or Aaron Rodgers coming to the Saints next year? Is that what you're thinking? Or do you think that Taysom Hill garners at least, or warrants, a little bit of a tryout here? And why didn't he start his tryout earlier?
Yeah, man, honestly, I was praying for it. I was hoping Green Bay would fuck that up for us. And
all right, Anthony's on the same page as everybody. They know that a veteran quarterback is probably going to be brought in to the New Orleans Saints next year. And I don't know if that's just because we've all speculated it, but I think we all assume it. Although there's $70 million over the projected cap already, which is hilarious. They do that every year.
Yeah.
It is awesome how Sean Payton and them down there run the squad. We'll deal with it later. What they're going to have to find is a quarterback of the future. I think they're going to bring in a vet. That's what everybody says. Who knows which one it'll be. Taysom Hill, though, we didn't ask Ian Rapoport about this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mount finger.
Same thing as Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's right. He's playing. He's going to run it 45 times.
Hey, listen, the reason why Russ couldn't play with this is Sean talking to Taysom is because he had to throw it a lot, and that's going to be a little tough to control, because the pressure that you normally put on the ball to fling the ball wherever you're going is now incredibly affected because the last finger to touch the ball on the way out now, you can't really do much with.
No.
And that's why Russ probably couldn't do it, had to get surgery, Wolverine train, all that stuff. What we're thinking for you is, we're on power eye, dude.
Yeah.
You hold that ball in the left hand. That's right. Okay. Hold that ball in the left hand, and let's go ahead and secure that thing, and let's just go ahead and dominate this. Or is Taysom Hill the toughest guy of all time? I mean, these are things that we should think about.
He probably saw what Bill did on Monday night and goes, "Oh, I could fucking run triple option with Taysom for the rest of the season. Fucking Army Navies this weekend. Let's see what we got."
14.63 million people watched Monday Night Football with 35 mile-an-hour winds in Buffalo, 14-10 game.
Hell yeah.
Weather gets ratings.
Uncomfortable. What is this?
Yeah, fascinating.
What is this? Manning cast 1.63 million, I think, if I do recall from the tweet that I looked at. 14.97 million viewers across ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Deportes. Most watched Monday Night Football game since the opener, Ravens versus the Raiders. Shout out to the Ravens and Raiders getting Monday Night Football opener. Manning cast averaged 1.63 million. This is from Chad Finn at Globe. Chad Finn, he writes for the Globe, dude.
Oh, man.
And when Chad puts his pen to pad, magic comes out. Shout out to Globe Chad, dude.
Shout out, baby. Everyone in Boston loves Chad.
14. Oh, is that from the Boston Globe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. $14.97 million, by the way, or million viewers is awesome.
Huge. For a game that everyone kind of knew, like, oh, this is going to be a shit show. There's not going to be a lot of points either.
Football is so big.
It's the best.
The NFL is so big.
Yeah.
Like Dana White talked about it yesterday. Like, hey, we know the NFL is king, but the UFC is pretty cool too.
Well, and he said we're good live.
Yeah, the live experience of the NFL stinks is what
which, by the way, I think is why these sweet stadiums are going to become a thing, because you have to be able to do more than just sit there and watch one game, because in the world that we're in, everybody has access to everything and stats and information and Wi-Fi, and with 8K, it feels like the motherfuckers are right in our living room anyway.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thing, so they have to change the way it goes. Those fights, any given moment, somebody can get dropped.
Oh, yeah. Probably electrifying.
I've been to a couple of them. They are amazing. I was there when a Brazilian dude, I think is Spider, what's his name?
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva. He danced around for like 40 seconds. It was the anticipation was like building, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he punted a guy's face.
Yeah.
Boom. Dead. It was electrifying. And the smack was literally heard and echoed through the entire thing. But the NFL crushes, dude.
Yeah.
It crushes everything. And I'm so thankful we get to cover it. Speaking of, massive announcement coming in 6 minutes. We'll see you after that. Cheers.
You two are on the Stars. I'm going Golden Knights.
Otter's
not in net. Holtby's in net.
Holtby's a wagon.
The Stars have won 7 in a row. but only 4-6 on the road. Give me the Knights in Vegas. I'll also take the Devils at home, -152. The Flyers were tempting because they just made the coaching change, but boy, they've stunk lately. I think they've lost 9 in a row, I believe. And I don't know if Mike Yo's the guy to turn around a sinking ship. They're still trying to figure out their coaching situation, obviously. I just don't. At some point, they'll get a jump from it. I just don't know if tonight's the night. Avs are heavy favorites at -170, but if you go and look at them in regulation, they are even money as of right now. So I'll jump on Colorado at +100 to win the regulation.
There you go.
I'm on the Canucks, +114.
So are you, huh?
Boudreaux's got the boys buzzing.
You boys are both on the
Arizona -15, Utah Valley +6.5, Marquette +2.5, Georgetown -7, TCU money line, Bryant money line, Southeast Missouri +1.5, Western Carolina +3.5, American +4.5, Boston U -5.5, Stony Brook +5.5, UConn +2, Eastern Michigan +1.5. A lot of pups.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? You've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There was a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm here. Oh, my life, Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm
clock. We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let... I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach. It's got good bonds for this thing here, you know what I mean?
Wait, what's it for? Is it like a sand wedge?
Anything close to the green. It's like a 60. Yeah. I think it's like 60.
Little rescue club.
Yeah. I used it one time on a course. I duffed it 4 times, and I said, that one's going to stay. That one's never seen a course again.
Is that the one you got to just use the same stroke as a putter?
No, that's the chipper.
That little thing that you use in the fringe area?
Yeah. If I ever get into pro golf, which is probably going to happen after this whole thing, That one's going to be one of the spots in my bag.
Yeah. They say use the 9.
They're illegal, though.
What?
I think those little chipper deals are illegal.
Bullshit!
It's all right. You won't ever get close enough.
I will, dude. Wait until you hear what we're up to. And then,
I mean, I don't care. You could put 9 golf simulators in the Coliseum. It's not going to make you a pro golfer.
It's not a Coliseum, by the way. It's a fucking igloo.
Get it right,
you asswipe.
We've already talked about it.
Wake up.
You guys all at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's a branding thing,
How many times do we have to
I
tell
tell you
you
what,
the
it
same
is
thing?
mesmerizing just watching you do this.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
It really
How about you
is.
get some air under that thing? That's nothing. You have like 3 inches of pipe.
I mean,
You piece of shit.
How dare you?
How about you
scumbag,
have some
dude.
awareness?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Days ago, I retired from the NFL after another Pro Bowl season. Now, I was staring down my 3rd surgery in 4 years, but there was a lot of other things happening. 1,771 days ago, I retired from the NFL after another Pro Bowl season. Now, I was staring down my 3rd surgery in 4 years, but there was a lot of other things happening behind the scenes that made me question a lot of things. I didn't want to focus on kicking a ball when the offense failed anymore. I wanted to spend my time chasing fulfillment. Although the NFL was awesome, I'm incredibly grateful for being a part of the NFL. It reset all the bills for my family and my friends, but I wanted to chase fulfillment. I wanted to chase that feeling that you get whenever somebody disappears from their life for a moment and has a smile. I wanted to chase the philanthropic goals that everybody has to make the world a better place. I wanted to chase something alongside my friends. And when I retired from the NFL, there was some skeptics, obviously.
Look, somebody needs to stage an intervention. People who know this guy, get to him now. Make him put his helmet back on and get to camp.
And although I had 750,000 Twitter followers, I'd already done a full stand-up tour. I had my own show, my own podcast, a merch store. Not one network was interested whenever I reached out and said, hey, I'm retiring. Would you mind having a punter on your air? So much so that I was actually going to build my own app, have the wireframe still at this point. I was going to charge $1 a month, and I was going to create podcasts and content that my people that followed me on Twitter would potentially get to enjoy. I just wanted to have a good time in retirement because now no networks wanted me. I'll have to build my own goddamn thing. Dave Portnoy, Erica Nardini found out about this, reached out to me and said that I would be the perfect person to potentially come work at Barstool. Since no other network wanted me, come to Barstool, you can learn the internet, and then maybe you can go on and do your own thing. I didn't want to move to New York. I wanted to live in Indiana. So we had Barstool Heartland, an umbrella company under Barstool, and we got a chance to learn about how the internet operates. And although I wasn't there, I was incredibly lucky to be a part of that company and the time that I was there, when I was there, and how I was there. I broke off, did my own thing, and my group of men, who I am so incredibly proud of, dudes that quit their jobs to move to Indiana, to chase this dream of creating entertainment, to creating content, to making an escape for people every single day. Boys committed their entire being to this office. We've been going dolo now as our own independent operation for about 3 years. And every single day, the boys will come in here with the same mindset, the same mission. We want to work hard and we want to create shit that makes people forget about life for a little bit. And if we end up making money, sweet. I mean, obviously, you need to do such a thing. It was in this office, obviously, that I practiced jumping off of the top there onto this crash pad so that whenever I was in a War Games match, I wouldn't break my fucking back. It was in this same office that Billy McComas tackled a trash can right here in the middle of our COVID Olympics in the office. It's in this office, right over there, where Gumpy debuted his new haircut. That was just yesterday. Looks good, Gump. This office is a melting pot of opinions, of people, of cultures, of backgrounds, of socioeconomic statuses. And this office has been the greatest thing I've ever been a part of in my entire life. I never thought that I would be a boss, an entrepreneur, a businessman, what? Contract negotiator, what? I never thought that I would do any of that, but once you start doing it, you start realizing that you're not just looking out for them, they're looking out for you. My group of guys were on planes 6 times a week because I thought it was the right decision to be on Get Up, Thursday Night Football, and College Game Day, while still having an everyday show, losing $1 million for our company, but because I thought the exposure would potentially lead people back to our show, which would potentially grow our audience, grow our community, and hopefully, inevitably, create more fulfillment as we make people's lives a little bit better. When I decided to take a WWE opportunity, and they were down in the Thunderdome in Tampa Bay, Florida, we bought a house. Zito put an entire studio in the living room, didn't blink, had a show, didn't just have a show, had our biggest show, our Draft Spectacular, where 137,000 people watched along as we did the dumbest draft content in the history of draft content, but we were 3 times larger than anybody else that was going live at the same time. All because Zito, Foxy, and all the boys said, yeah, we can make this happen. That's kind of what we've done this entire time. Just make it happen. Couldn't have done it without all of you. I couldn't have done it without all the boys. And although the future wasn't always figured out for us, to be clear, I've always been a checkers player, not a chess player. Everybody kind of dogs the checkers mentality where you're just trying to get over whatever's in front of you because that's where your full focus is, and then you worry about the next move when you get there, and all you're trying to do is get to the back row, king me, then you're coming back. That's how I've always viewed it. What is right in front of us right now? Where do we need to go? And there's probably been much better leaders of people that have been able to kind of zoom out and have this entire grand vision. For us, we didn't have a blueprint. We didn't have an idea. We just knew that we were a group that would be on the same page and go for it. And now I'm here to tell you the big announcement. After one negotiation, what? This is a rather huge call. That first negotiation was setting the table, by the way. You know, I was wearing cowboy boots. I was sitting down right over there, just setting the table on what the expectations were from either side between FanDuel and I, knowing in the world that we live what sports gambling is going to become and what our show is. Then it led to a second negotiation where I actually said this in the middle of the negotiation. This is actual clip from the second negotiation.
To be candid and transparent, this is a hilarious amount of money. Okay? Somebody like me is not supposed to be getting this money, but I also know that this money is going to go to somebody.
Then there was follow-up emails and texts, and it led to a phone call where I was sitting in fucking Kansas that said, hey, we have agreed to terms. And finally, after reading through the contract alongside CFO Phil, who has been an absolute stud reader since we were in second grade, literally together, in GATE, gifted and talented education, I believe is what it is. Phil was always at the top of the class. He was reading these contracts. I was reading these contracts. We were sending question marks back on the contract. What does this mean? Can you please send that back in English, please? We did not go to any law schools. An agreement was met, and it is historic. And what I said in the second negotiation is still true to this day. We just got paid an absurd amount of money. And what that money says is they don't own our company at all. FanDuel is still our exclusive sportsbook partner, but they just want us to lock in the fact that we will continue to do this show how we want to do it, maybe in a bigger way in the FanDuel Igloo, which we will be moving into in about 4 or 5 months for at least 3 years. 4-year deal, 3-year opt-out. We want to keep the show how it is. We would like to fund it. We want to be the exclusive sports book of that show. So I am here to say that not only did we just get broken off, we found a little consistency. We'll be doing this show for the time to come. We'll be doing it hopefully in a bigger way.
We'll be doing it our own way. We'll still have all of our other partners. They're giving us money to go on live show events and make live shows happen around the country so we can get out and meet everybody. I can't fucking wait for it. And whenever you get an entire bag of cash, okay, this is a big one. And I don't think I need to say the exact amount of money. It'll get leaked out. But big shout out to everybody who has come before us in this particular field, who did their negotiations with their companies, because it really set the table for all of us. And shout out to all of the internet companies who've run their own thing for a long time, all of the truly actual independent companies who've had to grind. I know there's a lot of shows out there right now that are small. We were once very, 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 very small. You have just as much talent as everybody else. You're more talented than the people that just get viewers whenever they're on TV. Keep grinding, keep going. We kept going, and now we get a chance to, that McDuck thing into the gold coins. When you get too much money, like quarterback money, what the fuck do you do with it? What do you do? And there's a lot of reflection, a lot of time with my wife, a lot of time with my friends saying, hey, I think we're about to get paid this amount of money from just this company, let alone all of our other partnerships, our merch company, our live touring potential, everything else. This is the amount of money we're about to get from this company just so we continue to gamble there. What are we supposed to do with that? It's time to give back, baby. I've reflected upon my life. Who made me? Who helped me get to where I am right now? Who helped create the human that I am that maybe, wasn't always the easiest to deal with? I was a wild child, an active child. I was never scared to tell somebody to go fuck themselves, literally since I was a little kid. So whenever I looked back upon my life, I knew that there was a lot of places that helped create me, a lot of people that helped create me, and I wanted to give back in a big way. First things first, I grew up playing soccer, Plum area soccer. Let's go ahead and give them $200,000. I went and played youth football over there for about 3 weeks. It introduced me to the game. I was pretty good. Tone Diggs was my teammate. Look at that photo. Let's go ahead and give them $150,000. Hey, there's a youth lacrosse now in Plumboro. Oh my God, I want them to do well. Let's give them $150,000. Youth wrestling in Plum, let's give them $100,000. Youth basketball in Plum, let's give them $100,000. Youth baseball, I didn't play, but CFO Phil did, and now Lil Phil does. Let's give them $100,000. And for the high school and junior high athletes, I think it's only right that we're all Mustangs here. I had a great time playing high school sports. I was honored to represent my high school. I used to get a lot of things said to me by opposing teams' fans because of where I came from. And I never really thought that, athletics was the priority in anybody's minds at Plum High School. I might have been wrong. So I reached back out to the high school and said, how can we help? How can we make this happen? And we reached out directly to the teams and the boosters to keep out the school board and the superintendent and all that. How do we get the money to go directly to the teams and to the players and to the kids that could potentially be future me's? How do we keep people in sports through high school? How do we keep people engaged and active? How do we make their life better? Oh, okay, quick. We'll have a $2 million We're All Mustangs Here fund that they can tap into via an email if they want new swag, new travel, new this, new that. Whatever can make high school athletes' lives better at Plum, they can tap into it, apply for it, and get at least $2 million. That thing's probably going to keep going until the end of time. That's pretty sweet. Where'd I go after Plum? Well, I went down to Morgantown, West Virginia. And there was this place in Morgantown, West Virginia, where I learned what it felt like to serve the community. Bill Stewart was a man who was one of my coaches, rest in peace. He was a tight ends coach and special teams coordinator my first 3 years. Then my senior year, he became a head coach, and he was always big and give back to the community. So there was this children's hospital directly across the street from Milan Puskar Stadium, where players would get to go over there and interact with the kids that were much tougher than all of us and see how it felt to give back and put a smile on their face. It was the first place I ever truly served the community. So we got to give them $1 million. Then when I come out to Indianapolis, Indiana, there was one man on the team that was nice to me, that shouldn't have been nice to me. And he even told me hey, Red 18 is going to hit in this particular casino in Indiana, and we're all going to be heroes for the night. Peyton Manning has a children's hospital. He helped me out immensely. His work ethic, from me watching him, made me better. Him being cool to me made me better. Him doing everything he did to embrace and welcome me to Indianapolis made my life better. How about $1 million to the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital? And on the defensive side of the ball, Robert Mathis, OG, Q-Dog. How you doing? Keep it moving. Defensive end. Strip sack king. One of the most intimidating motherfuckers I've ever seen in my entire life. He kind of gave me the nod of approval in the locker room as well. As a rookie punter who didn't know what the hell I was doing, he kind of gave me the okay for everybody else. He has something called the Original Gridiron Gang, which is allowing, people that don't have the ability to train and go to camps alongside NFL certified coaches, whether it's troubled neighborhoods, backgrounds, whatever the case. He has camps for them. In Indianapolis, he absolutely crushes it. Cool. $1 million over there as well. $100,000 a year in scholarships so kids can go have camps and maybe get better and find a better life through learning something that they would have never had the access to do. But that's not all. I did a lot of work with Wish for Our Heroes. They were a fucking incredible bunch of people. Let's give them $200,000. Let's give the Coburn place right down the road here an incredible safe haven that I only got to work with once or twice, but I found so much inspiration in. Let's give them $150,000 for the brand. My wife and I's foundation that takes care of payments for families that are going through canine cancer treatments because they're absurd, and I learned that via my dog Valerie. Let's give $250,000 there. I'd be remiss if I didn't, thank the boys. Evan Foxy is currently holding an iPhone right now. His hands are starting to shake a little bit. I think it's only right that they see some, benefit from their incredible hard work and their loyalty and their dedication and their significant others understanding that it's going to be a lot of hours to work on the internet. It's going to take a lot of time to check your phone all day, every day. It's not going to be easy whenever you have a boss who expects you to be positive and happy every single day and to bring juice. I think they should all get, $250,000 bonuses, right? Yeah. $250,000 bonuses for all of them. Also, I think as a kid, especially where I come from, you always think to yourself, I should take care of my parents. And Tim and Sally are learning this right now while watching this video. You're millionaires. So congratulations. Tim went from driving trucks, Sally being a secretary. We had a house at the bottom of the hill of a hilly town, 700 square feet, remortgaged the house 5-6 times just so I can continue to do sports, hand-me-down city, but all they did was work and never ask anybody for anything. It's an absolute dream come true for me to be able to do this. I can't wait to see what they do with, 7 figures all of a sudden in their bank account. I'm sure Tim and Sal will handle that well. And last but not least, everybody that's watching this video right now, you have no fucking idea how thankful I am that you allow us dumbasses into your life. Whenever we started this, we could have never fathomed how big it would get, how quickly it would get there. I think we all had a lot of confidence when we all quit our jobs to do this, that it was going to work. We didn't know how, we didn't know why, but we had no clue that we would get to the point that we would get to. We have people from all over the world that watch this fucking show. We have people from every single political background that watch this show, every age bracket, every socioeconomic class. We like to think that we're a unifier. And we like to think that we can be a place that you can come and forget about everything. But I don't think you should forget about this. Starting right now, if you tweet a picture of when you started watching the show from a clip, either previously or a tweet previously, whenever you got involved in watching this show, screenshot that, tweet it out using hashtag PMS FanDuel Family. I'm gonna give away $1.5 million. Let's have an incredible life. We are incredibly thankful. It is from this office in which a lot of stupidity was created. The FanDuel Igloo will be next, still in Indianapolis. And thank you all for everything. Thank the boys for everything. Thank my family for everything. Thank all the people that have been a part of my life for everything. And we're only getting started. Cheers.
Okay, so I just got emotional watching that, and I just can't thank everybody enough, obviously. Watched alongside from his attic in Ohio, a man who was included in the boys thing, the bonus thing, because he has been a massive part. By the way, boys, thank you all so much.
Thank you, man.
Hey, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
How about Little Tone Diggs in there, man?
Yeah, I was chubby fucking little fucker back
How about
then.
Junior High Nick in there, dude?
Skinny little bastard.
Yeah, you were, man. You wore those pads good, though, man. And you boys, I do appreciate it. Like, everybody literally quit their shit to do this. And big, massive thank you to FanDuel, bro. Fucking, we're very lucky that we still, by the way, hey, all right? I don't know if anybody has seen their press release, okay? The guy I did the deal with alongside Amy Howell, who's an incredible person who had to get, dropped into a position of power at the #1 sportsbook of America, out of nowhere. And there was potential situations that had happened over there with a lot of turnover and new people. And Amy flew out here and she looked me right in my eye and said, we're going to get a deal done. And that is just how it's going to be. And through everything, she was a very consistent, alongside Mike Raffensperger of FanDuel, who he was the one, by the way, in the Variety article when he said I needed a national show whenever they signed on with Charles Barkley and a couple others. And we're big fans of Charles Barkley, but we got kind of thrown into a quote on the bottom side. And I felt, incredibly disrespected by that person. And I think him and I's relationship has grown immensely from them, because he came from a world in the marketing world where you do the old school media, like, hey, this is what matters, this is what matters. And as I think he continued to meet us, understand us, and then ultimately our people, there was a lot of focus groups and stuff that happened over there, I guess. And we were sitting in quite a position because we have an incredibly loyal group of people that ride or die alongside of us. And FanDuel recognized that as well. And me and Raph and Amy, through it all, were very strong. And we dealt with each other directly. It was those are actual clips of the negotiations that we put in that video. It was a very stressful process. I think I was probably tough to deal with through it all from a lot of people, because the amount of research for this show every day, and then also the research of what's going on in the business world, and also what's going on in other places, and who's doing what. I took on a lot of hats because I wanted us to own it. Like, I wanted us to be the people that did it. I wanted to be a part of the process because I don't think I fully understood the process. And then obviously there was a lot that happened in my life with my beautiful wife and everything else. So I just want to thank everybody for riding with us through this incredibly stressful but incredibly fulfilling and awesome time. And big thanks to FanDuel. We'll just be able to talk ball basically for at least the next 3 years. And this sounds hilarious. Not that we ever did, but like somehow we have continued to not have to answer to fucking anybody.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. Joining us now, a man who is a massive piece of this. College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, absolute icon, AJ Hawk.
Hey.
What up, dude? I appreciate you, man.
What's up, guys? Good video, good job, Foxy. And yeah, I think the coolest thing about all of it is that you didn't sell anything. You didn't give up anything. Like, it's just a partnership deal with FanDuel, who is awesome. It's not like, oh, hey, I've finally reached the top and now I can sell and get out and go sit on the island. No, that's not at all what's happening.
No, it's the complete opposite. It's like, hey, I have learned about me that I don't do well working for others. Okay, I've learned about me that if somebody who is above me says something that I think is dumb at this stage of life, it is hard for me to go, oh, okay. Like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So I knew that was potentially not going to be a thing going in. And they understood that as well, which is awesome about FanDuel. FanDuel was like, hey, listen, what we've been doing is great. It's been working. We don't want to do anything. You just keep gambling with us. Now let's dive into it in the negotiation process. I mean, that was an actual clip where I say, hey, this is cartoon money, dude. Like, I understand it, but the money's going to go somewhere. It was fucking awesome. And I'm very, very thankful for you, AJ. I'm very, very thankful for the boys. Anybody that's ever been a guest on this show, including the ones that just popped in your head, no need to say them right now. They're not great in conversations and everything. It's just like, it's been a long haul. And going through that video, I mean, I got real emotional looking at that shit. I mean, 1,771 days ago, I retired. So much has happened in that time. And
our significant others, like my wife, who was my girlfriend, then fiance, then wife throughout that entire time, just being able to put up with my shit, all the boys, like being on the road. I mean, it is just, we're very, very lucky, AJ. Very, 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 very fucking lucky, you know?
Absolutely. Luck. And also you took advantage of, I mean, no one gave you anything or gave you an opportunity. You built it from the jump, from the ground up. So that's probably, I think, why it's so special to you as well. It's like, yeah, this is something you created out of thin air, and you made all of this. And like you see the impact it have. So yeah,
I didn't create this. Okay, listen, let's make sure this is, I have, I guess, been a part of the movement the longest here, but this is everybody. This is our community. Our community creates a community because they're, be a friend, tell a friend. People take that for real. I see people tweeting like, hey, this is me telling somebody. And I'm like, man, I appreciate you actually doing that. It's just really cool. I'm very lucky. I'm very thankful. We have to get to a break because I'm about to break down and start crying again, I think. I just saw my dad tell me to fuck off when I told him he's a millionaire. That was awesome. He was sitting out here, and Tim had no. He said, no. I'm like, yeah, Tim, well, fuck you. It's going to be forced into your bank account. How about that? What are you going to do with it? I can't wait.
What if he says drugs?
Whatever, dude. He's lived long enough. He's worked hard enough. Go over and do what you got to do.
Well, we all appreciate you too, dude,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm very thankful just to be in the room, just to be here in the goddamn building. So, there's really not much you can say. It's kind of shock at this point right now for me, but it's fucking crazy, man.
Attaboy, Foxy.
The fact that iPhone was stable during the actual video is unbelievable. I was shaking like a fucking leaf. It was unbelievable.
It was really cool to watch you do that.
It was. I was very happy. It looked good. But to be honest, and I'm not bullshitting here, 4 years ago when I was starting to get to know you, started working for you, you said this was the plan. You said, we're going to work our asses off as much as possible 2-4-7, and so we can get a big deal, we can get money, and we can, keep it moving. And it's just unbelievable that we're here.
Well, Foxy, I appreciate you, obviously. Everybody knows how important Foxy is to the entire growth of this entire thing. Zito, literally everybody behind the scenes that just, it's, you guys didn't blink though, I don't know. They're going to say this is the blueprint. Okay, that's what people have already started saying, especially after, for retired athletes. Let's let it be known. LeBron James did this with his friends. He was able to build up a production company and entertainment and a big time business. There's plenty of ex-athletes that I got a chance to watch become successful entrepreneurs and everything after. And I'm so incredibly proud of everybody that's made so much money after leaving the NFL because the stats were that you were going to go broke. And I remember asking in the NFLPA meetings, because it's hard to say, hey, you should manage your money better. It's like, do you know what it's like to come from next to no money or no money at all and then have the access to go buy everything you've ever seen? And the NFLPA was always like, in those meetings, hey, you're going to be broke after this because you're going to spend your money. I was like, how come the message can't be, let's teach you how to make more money when you're retired than when you're in the game? And I know that that's not going to be possible for everybody, but I feel like that should have been the message that was being given out. So I'm thankful that there is potentially a world now that exists on the internet and a digital platform that retired players who don't get hand-selected to be in the mainstream get a chance to build their own network. But if they are to do so, they have to have an incredible group of motherfuckers around them. And I don't know if anybody's ever going to be able to find this group, including you, AJ Hawk. I am so fucking lucky for all of you. Thank you all so much. We got to get to a break. We're back in 4 minutes. I thank you all so much. See you then. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that is from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady.
you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning. To walk into any Howl at the Moon and go, wish you would stand from that ledge, my friend.
Jumper.
We could
cut ties with all the lies that we've been living in.
And
if you do not want to see me again, I would understand.
That's what I want to do at Howl at the Moon. Just slide on the knees with the guitar.
How at the Moon is just pianos usually.
No.
You wouldn't get it.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this massive announcement. Thursday, December 9th, 2021.
Hell yeah.
You know, it was an aggressive decision to have it be announced an hour into the show, but now I'm starting to realize it was an aggressive decision to do it with an hour and a half left in the show.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
Joining us back from his attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Hey, baby,
Baby AJ.
Yeah, what do you do now?
I guess we got to talk about your Super Boost, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh, have you guys figured out a picture yet?
Oh, have you not seen it yet? I am so jealous of you that you get to see it for the first time.
You put it out?
Look at that. Look at that. You with a can of gas, ready to light the flames that is the Super Boost to heat up. Let's talk about the game tonight that you're saying Pittsburgh will win outright, even though they're getting 3 points in Minnesota. Has anything changed your mind about that decision that was made by you 2 days ago? Dalvin Cook coming back. Ian Rapoport was surprised by this news. The 32nd ranked rush defense going against the 31st ranked rush defense tonight. A lot of Najee Harris, maybe a lot of Dalvin Cook, depending upon how his pregame workouts go and the workload that he can handle with the injuries to his shoulder. What do you think going into tonight? You know, you don't care how they win, huh?
No, I wish we could have got better than plus 180, but hey, I'll take it because I am very confident the Steelers are going to get it done.
Hey, I pushed. I want to let you know I pushed. You should have seen it. I said, we can't get this to plus 200.
Come on.
What are we even doing?
And they've been pretty generous, so it's okay.
Well, that was actually their response. They're like, we gave you quite a big one.
Yeah.
It's been, and by the way, that's the awesome thing about this exclusive sportsbook partnership that will continue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that is awesome that is still happening. And I read the press release, and Mike Raffensperger, a guy who literally One of the only humans in the history of my existence, especially at his position, where I hated him early and we were able to get past it.
Yeah.
Okay. But just by conversation and everything like that. In the press release, he says, Pat isn't just our best marketing partner. He's also one of our best customers. So we assume we will see some of this back. You son of a bitch, Ref. Okay. You son of a bitch. That is not the goal. The goal is to take even more from him. And that is awesome, by the way. That's how a press release should be, you know?
I agree. It's real. You could tell he actually wrote it. It reminded me actually there's a guy I played with in college, got in some trouble. Something happened at a strip club, I guess, and they interviewed the owner of the strip club I saw on the local news like the night before the game. He's like, he's always been a great customer whenever he comes in and he doesn't owe anybody any money. It's like, I don't think this is helping. In fact, the owner's standing up for him.
But the owner thought he was being a hero there. Hey, listen, I'm sticking up for this guy. He comes in here all the time, and everybody's like, oh, okay. So kind of doing both there. But I appreciate FanDuel's deal. And tonight, we got to take more. Like tonight's the night we got to take more.
TJ Watt's healthy, right? He's going?
Oh, I don't know. At Tone Diggs, was that ever a question? Yeah, I assume he's going, right?
TJ's going.
Yeah, TJ.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just saying
the record.
that's my main thing. As long as TJ is going and he is healthy, that dude wants defensive MVP, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes to get it.
Is he the most important player tonight in your eyes in the entire game?
If they can find a way to stop the run, then yeah. If you force Kirk Cousins to beat you, I think TJ is going to try to have a night.
Oh, so Steelers get an early lead. Okay, now TJ's going to go hunt a little bit. And he's going to do that.
Plan.
He's going to do that kick thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There it is, right there. Great extension.
Yeah. It's a good celebration.
Need a little leg lock if you're looking for maximum trajectory on a punt, though.
Sure.
Going to need that a little bit better. Has a little knee bend like me. That means his hamstring not as flexible as some others, and also lower back potentially refrains from that. Incredible celebration, incredible player. He's up and at him. The Watts have sent a text already. Congratulations. So thank you, Watts. Thank you, Watts family.
I always thought of his knee bend right there, of him kicking down the fucking door and being like, I'm here, motherfuckers.
Oh, you're saying like, hey, he's coming in, just like he did get the agents out of the way. I'm going in to sign my own deal.
Like the little video gif of Big Bird kicking down the door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what he's doing. Yeah, and that's why him kicking the agents out of the way is a big deal.
He did. You also saw that he was training around a tree when he had COVID.
Really?
What? He was...
You know how they run the fucking hoop?
Yeah,
he was doing that with his trees in his yard.
Did you know that, AJ? And have you ever done anything like that in the off season?
I feel like that's putting those trees in some danger, though. Did anyone give him any slack?
Oh, you're right. Anytime a Watt's around, that tree could get sawed down. It doesn't matter if it's a redwood out there. Did you do any weird?
No, I mean COVID. He's gonna give the tree COVID.
Oh, possible. Is it a
oak?
Is it a fir? What type of?
Well, if
tree?
it's a hardwood, the tree's okay. If it's a softwood, they do have to
permeate.
Be concerned.
COVID potentially permeates into through the sap.
Yeah, but there's no softwood in Pittsburgh.
No, there ain't no. Well, there actually is. We got some really beautiful jagger bushes out there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, those things have great flowers on them. You know what I mean?
Good flowers.
Good flowers. They become trees though. Hey, do you remember those? What do you got? You guys call it? You don't call them jagger bushes. You call them thorn bushes, I think.
Oh sure, yeah.
I think we called them pricker bushes.
Pricker bushes.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Upper Michigan.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys call them pricker bushes? We got them jagger bushes. Everywhere else just got thorn bushes, basically, whatever the case is. TJ Watt, though, training in the offseason. Let's get back to this. You've avoided this a couple times now. Did you do anything weird in the offseason? There was just one offseason. I moved to my new house, and there was the first time I had trees fall down everywhere. Hey, thanks for selling me the house. Immediately upon the expiration date of all of these fucking trees, they all died at the same goddamn time. I don't know if they didn't get enough sun. I didn't know if the soil kind of ran. It might have been those cicadas now that I think about it.
Shit.
Might have been the cicadas. Whatever the case, big-ass trees falling. So for one, month period, I was moving lumber from one part of my property to another, and I was like, oh, this is like an actual workout here. I felt like I was a super tough guy. Did you do any obstruct, weird training methods other than the side kicking thing that we've seen you do on the internet?
Well, I believe I did have a world champion gold medalist let me know that I had a lot of potential, so that was nice to hear. But no,
she was being nice.
Come on,
it's the Olympics too.
It was you asked the question, bro. It blew up in your face. Sorry, but I've done some old school Rocky type things. I still do every once in a while. My yard is tree lined on three sides, so there's a lot of dead trees in the back there. So a lot of times I take an axe out there and a hatchet and go try to chop those suckers and make them into firewood. And if you get through one decent-sized tree, that's a pretty good day. It's no joke. And then, grab them and do walking lunges throughout the yard, throw them on your back, squat. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, my friend who's a farmer, You know, he just does all that on the day-to-day. That's like what the job is. He's like functionally yoked.
Yeah.
So it's like the muscles that you have to use to do that stuff. He is jacked up. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, nothing really, just work basically.
Farm strength. He uses his body every day.
Oh, okay. But that's like the most athletic build too, I think. You know, and I think that's one that I would.
There's the scariest guys too. That they may not look jacked, but if they grab your arm, like it doesn't, you get a machete, you can't get them off.
Stone.
Mark Andre.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Have you seen The Alpinist yet?
I saw the trailer for that. That looks really good.
It is. I talked about it yesterday, and I think, you know, because I entered it as a moment of silence for somebody, you know, I don't think it got enough respect because my movie chops aren't fantastic. I've seen next to nothing, but when I see something, you know, new, I normally just like it because I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know this type of stuff was being made. That thing I didn't even know existed, and Marc Andre is one of the most. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah.
I think everybody should watch it.
It's unbelievable.
You watched it last night, right?
Yeah, I watched it last night, and now people are also calling for a hashtag PMS movie club after the book club, I believe.
It's not going to be able to be once a week. I watch a movie like once a year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure.
I can set that thing
You
up.
can do a documentary club.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, Ty is, by the way, an incredible.
Ty's like Siskel and Ebert in one.
Yeah, he's got two hands too, but he wishes he has two more thumbs. You know what I mean? That's kind of
what?
So full thumbs.
Yeah.
Dahn. Anyways, welcome back to the show. Let's talk about sports. What should
Who do you have coming on today?
Steve Smith Sr. He's been sawing people down tonight.
Yeah,
Big
can't
time.
wait.
He's been electrifying. He has been. Now listen, I understand if you're on the other side of the saw, it's not as fun. So I don't know how Baker Mayfield necessarily feels about how Steve Smith Sr.'s been acting on the Thursday Night Football pregame, but I fucking love it.
It's great.
Joe Thomas just sitting there right next to him like, oh man, there's nothing I can really say here.
Come on, Steve.
Yeah.
Saying stuff like that.
Yeah, Steve and Joe are a great dynamic together. I can't wait to chat with him about tonight's game. There's a full injury report that has been released that Zito and Foxy had found on the internet about tonight's Steelers-Vikings game. It's long. All right? This is December football. This is what December football is. Every team is going to have numerous people on the injury report. If you watch Hard Knocks in season last night, which is why I actually think I like the in-season one more. Much more. But like one reason why I definitely like it more is because you're getting a chance to see like the pain guys have day to day. Like DeForest Buckner had a hyperextended knee in the game. He went back into the game he played. It wasn't that bad on Monday. I think potentially, I'm not going to say anything about DeForest Buckner, but Toradol potentially helped there. And then Wednesday he got back to practice and he was like, oh, I can barely move. Like people never see those moments from the big stars that they see playing in the big games. Hey, like everybody is hurt. Like Carson Wentz went up to somebody like, you good? And they were like, yeah, I'm good. They're like, well, everybody's hurt, basically. Everybody is hurt. In the day-to-day struggle of some of these guys, I was very lucky. Not me, obviously. Although I did have a dislocated kneecap, couldn't walk after I punted. It was nothing in comparison to what guys like AJ went through. I think that is a cool part of this Hard Knocks thing, AJ.
That's got to be one of the good things to watch because, it's not just about like, okay, I just got to find a way to get healthy for the next Sunday. No, like I was the same thing. Like I got to find a way to be able to walk at Wednesday at practice and try to like not look completely awful. So that's always like your whole routine, how you switch it up as you get older too, trying to figure it out. But I don't know. Like do you think more teams will let these Hard Knocks crew in during the season, like as time goes on?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure it's as good of a look whenever when player safety conversation comes up, because now everybody's getting a chance to actually see why players have been openly against Thursday Night Football. Like, hey, some guys have been against Thursday Night Football. Now, obviously, the pseudo buy that happens on the other end of it is the gift of Thursday Night Football. But a lot of these Thursday night games this late into the season, guys are literally just kind of puttering out of the station to get to Thursday. And then when they get to Thursday, you're back up into a game. In some positions, that is just not something that's feasible most of the time. So I have the utmost respect for all these dudes out here.
I mean, imagine, remember some of the big O linemen you played with, like big tackles, guys that have been playing 11, 12 years. Watching them trying to just get ready for practice by like Friday was crazy. They're big old bodies. And then all of a sudden, you throw them out there Sunday, they give up 0 sacks and nothing happens, and they just dominate their guy all day long. Like, okay, there's a reason this dude's been here for 10, 12 years dominating people.
And the cycle continues then, right? By the way, dominate somebody, then they're trying to make it back by Friday's Fast Friday so they can get through the whole thing. And then Saturday walkthrough, then the game, then we're back to, oh my God. And all those big offensive linemen, at least a majority of them that I've been around, they're miserably hilarious too. Oh, Always. The most miserable fucks. And they are hilarious about it, So when I would come bebopping in, I loved it. Oh, my God. Boys, huh? Week 16, let's go. Let's go. We're going in
Cool.
the roof.
Full pads today, right, guys?
Hey, let's fucking hit, all right? Guys are saying that we're not tough enough. Are we going to take that? Dude, no way.
I would kill you.
Oh, it was awesome. I would always come, hey. Let's pop the pads today. Let's pop the pads. Like anything like that is just, making a full mockery out of everything, because that's what you have to do in the Groundhog's Day of it all. But I couldn't even fathom getting through a season. So I enjoyed that. Darius Leonard even walked up to, I think, DeForest Buckner in the middle of the episode. And he said, if I see you limp, I'm going to kick you the fuck off the field. He said, I need you Sunday. I don't know. Why are you even here? He said, you do Indy and then you do nothing else, is what Darius Leonard was saying to DeForest Buckner. We need you Sunday, pal. And that's like so real. That is a constant battle that's happening. So whenever you see people like did not participate or limited participation, you have no idea if that necessarily means that they're going to be out Sunday. Is this a G day? Is this a, hey, we need a day? Or is this actually injured for next week? And that's what December football is all about, guessing who's in, who's out, how they play, how they want. Dalvin Cook, I don't think any of us expected him to fucking play tonight.
No, but then you see he's playing, and then you kind of assume like, oh, maybe he is good to go. But then Rap Sheet said like, no, he'll probably have, maybe 6 carries. Just use him as like a boost. So like even though he's playing tonight, like he's got the shit banged out of him.
Yeah. And who knows what happens after one head? Why? 2 heads?
Why?
That shoulder on a Thursday. But he knows he's got 3 days to Ben Roethlisberger.
Uh-huh. Yep. Did you guys, speaking of Pittsburgh, did any of you, maybe Diggs or Tone saw it?
Diggs
or
Tone?
Nick, my bad.
Jesus Christ.
Did
Watch
you
the
see what
video.
Jerome Bettis?
Tone was in the football photo with me.
Yeah, number 15.
Nick was in the photo by himself, junior high football.
I've been playing football for 3 days, and Pat had as well, and that was the quarterback to wide receiver combo.
But 79.
79.
79
Yeah, what was that
number?
So this is how that happened. I was literally down. The baseball fields in the football field are in the same area. I was down there just watching like one of my friends play baseball. The fields are kind of like a hangout place. I never played, but it was a hangout place for kind of everybody.
Yeah, sell cigs and stuff.
Of course.
I did move some cigs at the baseball.
Eat the candy ones.
I did. By the way, I'm not proud of it. I would not recommend others to do it. But you got to do what you got to do, especially when that big league gum.
The whole big league chew?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that big,
Trying to chomp
I got 4 packets in my car right now.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine me as a 5th grader with no money trying to get a little bit. I see everybody walking around with these big jaws in. I'm like, all right, hey, you want this Newport, dude? Anyways, I was rolling around the baseball fields for whatever reason. It might have been a doubleheader. Who knows who was playing? Because basically all of my friends played except for me. And I just, whenever I was in town, because I was normally playing soccer at the time, I would just kind of go to the fields and then just bebop around. And there was football happening down on the other end. So I walked down just to look at it. And somebody was like, you want to play? And I think I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll play. So I walked over to put pads on me. I was the biggest dude. And I think we had like a game maybe in 2 days or something. Like I showed up there on like Thursday and the game was on a Saturday. I forget what it was. And I was the biggest guy. So they just put me in the offensive line. So they gave me 79. That was the thing. And I played O-line and D-line for like one game. And then I think that next week we ran some sprints and stuff. And it was like, okay, we should probably get this guy the ball. And Tone was quarterback. I played running back, wide receiver, punt return, safety. Diggs played basically every quarterback, linebacker, corner. Yeah. And we had this whole thing. I played for like 3-4 weeks. I was really in it. Then we played at Highlands, I think, and it was a night game. And I wanted to make it. I was flying around at a young age because I'd played backyard football, and I just kind of had that. Who cares if I die mentality basically at all times. I flew, and I was in the middle of a pretty good run for soccer here at this point. I was cracking into like the 2020 project, which was who's going to be on the 2020 United States Olympian team, like who's going to be. So I was doing the whole thing. I flew to tackle this guy, and I slid on my shoulder pad right into the cement area, and it just crashed my kneecap all the way down to like, it was like cement was so close to the field. And we looked down and we're like, all right, fuck that. We're not doing this anymore. Okay, so we're not going to go. We're going to go back to soccer. Similar thing happened at West Virginia, by the way, when I was playing soccer. I was in the spring. I was going to potentially play my senior year, both soccer and football, because it was somebody took me out. It was like, all right, fuck that. I ain't doing this. I'm going to go kick football. But Yeah, those days were awesome, man. Those were really cool days. That kind of introduced me to football. But that's why I was 79, because the first day I was there, I was like bigger than everybody. We had to weigh in and all that shit. I never done that before. It was wild.
I completely forget the Tone or Diggs AJ question.
I remember. No, I didn't get to it yet.
Oh.
So, well, first off, I don't know any real names. Tone's name is Anthony DeGazarulio, and then Nick's
Watch the
Gazarulio.
Gazarulio?
You just mentioned.
Nailed
Like,
it.
how am I supposed to know who Frank is? I've known him as Nick my whole life.
Well, a lot of people have known him as Nick. There's only a few of us, I think only me, that knew him as Frank forever. Because as soon as I heard it was actually Frank, I was like, oh, I know a lot of Nicks. I don't know any Franks.
Yeah.
This is a great name. Frank Sr., though, the man holds the title of Frank.
Big Frank, yeah.
Big
You were
Frank.
the only one that stuck with the Frank, so thank you for that.
Well, you wouldn't let me call you Frank. I mean, I would have, but you said, hey, you're not allowed to fucking call me that.
There was some
Get
times where I would say that in front of other people, and they'd be like, oh, I was told I can't do that. I'm like, well, I mean, Frank doesn't have much of an option for me. I'm like, because I come in to the weekend, and then I go out. What's he going to do on the first day? Hey, stop fucking calling me Frank and ruin the whole weekend? No. So it's like I was in a good spot. I apologize for that all along, by the way.
Yeah, you don't got to apologize for anything after what just happened.
By the way, Frank's still a good name. Anyways, so Tone Diggs, Frank, Nick, Cowboy, Hammer,
Dahn.
That's Tone.
Gotcha. No, the only, I mean, this is not like a real drop off. It's not like it was a big question. Did you guys see there's Jerome Bettis let a crew follow him towards the end of his career, and they showed him getting up out of bed and walking down the steps after a game, and that was like he was like sideways. I know, believe me, I do it. I understand like how he felt, and it showed like, hey, this is the toll running the ball for 15 years in the NFL does.
Was that him or Emmett Smith that was driving in the car? Yeah,
Emmett has one too, but he's going when he was driving to go break the rushing record. I think is when they were following him.
And they're filming him, and they have like local sports talk on there while he's driving to the game. I'm like, there's no way fucking Emmett Smith is listening to local sports talk while he's driving to a game. There is no way. But if he was, that is incredible. If that's how he, like every day, you need to hear somebody say he was bad. It's like, all right, whatever you need to do, dude, to get up there. But yeah, I remember Jerome Bettis. I mean, he was what, 280?
Yeah,
big boy.
Yeah, pretty much at the end of his career.
He was
So he's getting black. When you're big like that too, it's like what Gronk has to deal with. So many people are going low because you're so giant. Your legs are just annihilated, and your knees too.
And he can't turn down any hits.
No way.
Because he's the boss.
Yeah.
So if he was to not deliver a blow every single time, basically, it's like, is he even the boss anymore?
Boss got a flat tire.
Yeah,
lost a step. Jerome got super lucky that Ben made that tackle. Saved his career.
They all got super lucky that person's thigh was allegedly stabbed.
Yeah.
Either the night before or 2 nights before the game. We're talking about the fumble Indianapolis Colt.
Nick Harper.
Yeah, alleged. Now, I mean, that story has been out there for a long time. Allegedly, he got a pretty severe wound to his quad like 2 days beforehand, and that's the only reason why some people think he got tackled or whatever. Just so many things have to happen for people to have success. So nobody knows how you can predict anybody's. Like this show. Ain't nobody looked at this show and said it's going to be successful. Even the people that were a part of it.
Is that one of the biggest tackles in the history of Steelers football?
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah.
And it was made by Big Ben.
Led to a Super Bowl, I mean.
That tackle should not have happened.
And one of the greatest receptions and touchdowns is done by James Harrison. So it's like tackled by Ben, tied by James Harrison. But then you go back to the Lynn Swan down there.
Yeah.
And
you bring back, replay technology, it'd be a little different.
Franco. Hey, you're saying that wasn't a catch?
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't a catch, but I know there's a big.
Don't you say what you're saying.
I know there's a big
say it's not a catch?
conspiracy. A lot of people said, well, if there was replay, that would have not have been a catch.
Well, maybe they would have been able to get the New England Patriots alternate angle that they were filming everybody from.
Well, guess what? We lost the Super Bowl the year that came out, so who even cares about it, Doesn't freaking matter.
They did address that in this.
Because it didn't work? Is that why it doesn't matter?
Well, it happened in 2006. In 2006, it didn't work. And then 2007 is when it came out. And that's what they were doing in the Man in the Arena this past Tuesday. And in 2007, they got punished for it. And guess what? We went 18-0, bitch, when it happened.
That's the thing. Like, I really enjoyed them addressing it in Man in the Arena because I never thought about the players being like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not watching a film of this whole thing. And that's kind of the mentality they all took. Like, everybody is disrespecting the amount of work we've put in. They're just saying that this is why we're good. And we have never seen any of those videos. Now, Is there an advantage to be gained? I guess Roger Goodell saw these clips and thought so and fined him the max amount, $500,000. But also it's staying on a record that is so impeccable that people are going to find reasons to hate anyway. So
it was the same mentality in 2016 when Brady got suspended the first 4 games because of Deflategate, and then he was like, oh, okay. And then they went on, and that was the year they came back against the Falcons.
Hey, Jimmy G was so good.
He was. Jacoby Brissett, too. People forget.
So good. Jacoby's so good. All right, we're going to get to a 6-minute break. And on the other side of the break, we will have Steve Smith Sr. Big thank you to everybody that's reached out. Hashtag PMS FanDuel family. Go ahead and take a screenshot of when you started watching this dumbass show. Tweet it. Giving away $1.5 million. But think about that. That's just the first wave of giveaways. Think about how I just act with like, let's give away.
How do you choose how much goes to whoever tweets?
Well, I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. Yeah, Phil. We're going to have to figure that out.
Phil and Bruce.
Yeah, they'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. We'll be back in 6 minutes. Cheers. Is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Whenever you're working on golf, do you still have the same routine that you had whenever you were younger now, or is it much different? And how often do you just go down there and just hit Phil Mickelson flop shots all day? But anytime you turn one sideways and you flatten it, you're like, oh, watch this, I'm gonna do like Phil Mickelson does. And then you just go out there. Normally you either blade it, hit it straight up in the air to the right, or you somehow get lucky and it goes, and everybody's like, "Oh my God,
incredible shot,
Phil Mickelson." That's what that is kind of become. And I remember you hit the one over your head that one time. That was a mind blower from me. Is the short game something you've always just been good at, or are you good at it because that's all you work like so much on it at all times?
When I was a kid, my dad had a little chipping area in our backyard and putting green, and so I would just go out there and hit balls because I couldn't really go to the golf course, and all I did was shots inside 30 yards. And it got very monotonous to hit the same shot over and over, so I'd go behind the avocado tree. I'd go back around the other trees and bushes and rough and so forth. And so I would get creative as a kid hitting those shots. And you kind of learn a couple of things. But what I would say, Pat, is that there's really only one way to chip effectively, because you're coming in with no coverage on the ball. You're coming in with so much loft that the leading edge is coming in first. So you have to have your weight forward. That's it. You have to have your weight forward and drive the club down into the ground. And most people, when they do that, their hands either come back or their weight comes back and the leading edge comes up and blades it. Now, you can kind of flip your hands a little bit if you have a good lie. Like if the ball's sitting in the first cut or it's sitting up, but that technique will not work all the time. And so that's why I prefer and believe that the technique where you have your weight forward, your hands forward, and you drive the club down to the ground will be consistent every time. So lay that club flat, move that ball off your left toe, get that ball off your front left, there you go, and open that face flat and just drive the club down into the ground. The ball will pop up like a gem.
I think I'm a scratch golfer.
Let's go!
I think it makes sense, by the way, that your childhood was spent within 30 yards of a green. My childhood was spent kicking a soccer ball off the side of a house. Worked out for me. It's worked out for you much better.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this. The Hawk has arrived. Super Boost. Thursday Night Football. Thursday, December 9th, 2021. Let's go.
Yeah.
Steve Smith Sr. will join us here in a few minutes. AJ Hawk is live in his attic in Ohio. Tone Diggs, Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt, all the boys in the back. Twitter is active right now, and all of you are so incredibly kind. Thank you for the incredible words about our company, our business, right here in little old Indiana.
Hell yeah.
And Ohio, I guess. Jeez.
What?
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 Hey, Ohio's getting sports gambling because of you, AJ.
There we go, AJ.
Yep, I saw that. I read it's like fast track, right? It seems like it's not going to be too long now.
72-12. Let's talk about those 12. All right? Fucking get out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, get out of the way, dude.
What are you doing?
Add a little happiness. I understand you can grandstand and say things could go bad, but guess what? Literally walking across the street could go bad, I guess. Let's go ahead and open that thing up like Michigan has, Indiana has, Pennsylvania has. What? You're literally West Virginia has.
What?
You are surrounded by everybody that can do.
Kentucky is
the
only one.
Is it? Are they?
No, they're the only one who does not.
Okay. Well, anyways, so I guess you guys can go out that way where there's nothing. But everywhere else, basically around Ohio, has it. Let's go and get on there. I'm excited. And AJ, what I think is going to actually happen is tonight, that super boost that you put forth just a couple days ago that has been boosted to plus 180. I think Pittsburgh's going to win the game outright because you said they were going to win outright, and you're going to go on a heater. These Hawk wings are going to take us higher and higher in this thing, and it's going to go on until Ohio has sports gambling, and that's why we thank you, AJ.
Thank you, Hawk. I would assume FanDuel will be right at the front of the line to get in, won't they?
What's that, for Ohio?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of lobbying. You're right. This boost might not have been able to be on there, but if FanDuel doesn't get into Ohio, which I assume they will be able to, best tech, best app, biggest in the world.
Yeah, it seems they're given
there was
a lot
25, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Served up.
And by the way, Ohio's going to have a lot of options, which is great for everybody. You do what you got to do, but if FanDuel is over there, cool, come on, enjoy it with us. If it's not, take the bet, go ahead and ride alongside of us.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people do that each and every week because I get those people pissed off at me too.
Well, they also need to be very excited when it hits, though.
Well, that's what's happening tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it doesn't, remember, get pissed at AJ because this doofus picked money line. He could have picked spread.
All right, let's talk about some other things that happened around the NFL. Taylor Heineke said that Tampa playoff game was a job interview, and I killed it, dude.
Hell yeah.
And we all couldn't agree more. We had no idea he existed before that game. Almost knocks off the soon-to-be Super Bowl champions with Tom Brady in an incredible effort. Now he's the starter for Washington. Now Washington's in playoff conversation. Now Ryan Fitzmagic is done for the year, let alone maybe. No, I would never count out. Never count out. Never count out Ryan Fitzmagic. He'll be back. But I love that Heineke said this, and maybe it's a great way to view it. What if they go on to win some games, make the playoffs? He's their guy for the time being, right?
I mean, I respect his confidence, don't you? I feel like a guy that's doing what he's doing as young as he is. Yeah, to step out and say that, cool. You need your quarterback to feel like that.
Hey, listen, and he probably did a whole. I mean, remember when he was on? Yep. He was on. He probably did. It was a job interview. I fucking killed it, dude. You saw me. I dove from the 5-yard line. It was Tom Brady. What do you want me to do? Nobody. I mean, it was cool. I'm excited to hear about the future for Taylor Heineke and also the current with how the Washington football team does. Ron Rivera seems to have the boys buzzing over there, even though their stadium has actual poop water leaking from it, let alone the poop that is potentially raining down on what's going on. They have figured out a way to somehow win. Nothing but more power to them.
Yeah,
Joining us now is a man that crushes on television every single Thursday. He doesn't do social media. I think maybe he does now, but the last time we talked to him, I don't do that, he said. I don't need it. I don't want it. He said something about his kids. Tell him about some stuff on there. All he does is go on television and fucking slaughter it. Can't wait to watch and hear what he has to say tonight as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Minnesota to play against the Vikings. Vikings favored by 3. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute stud wide receiver, icon of the game, Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah! What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm really good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Where are you? Are you in? What are you watching in the background there? It feels like we got a kids show going on. Is there something cooking over there?
I'm watching American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Which one is it? One of the newer ones or one of the older ones?
I don't know. It's on so much. Who knows? I'm always watching some. I'm watching some washed up athlete think he can do something and they don't do it. And I always love like when they show the drama leading up to them and then they fall out like 10 obstacle courses in.
Yeah.
It's like the second one is like the simplest one. They just fall.
How those slanted boards at the beginning, those get some people. And those are
if you don't have a good gene pool, you can see that on those boards. Like it becomes real evident. Real evident.
Are you still in great shape right now? You think you could bode well in that or any other physical activity events? You stick at it?
I mean, I'll stick with things. I'm not one of those guys that are just trying to relive his life and say, hey, I'm going to go play. I'm going to go box. I'm going to go do this. Man, I enjoy staying in shape, but I'm not trying to relive my glory days. I really didn't enjoy my glory days when I had it. Wish I should have. So now I'm kind of like, I'm just enjoying hanging out, chilling.
Okay, so you'll work out, you won't train. I respect that a lot. That's kind of what I think.
No.
The rest of us.
I don't want to train. Here's the thing. Training Steve, he's kind of an a-hole. So I don't, you know, AJ knows, man. Me and him had some battles where it's like sometimes – it's funny is now that I'm an analyst, I can see guys, and when I sit down interviews, I can see guys, they're kind of like timid, like, is he going to be the butthole when we played against him, or is he going to be like, and now I'm just kind of like, some of the things I do regret, like I was pretty mean to some linebackers and some guys that would hit me that, well, now that I see him, I kind of go like, dang. I was a dick.
AJ, did you think that? Did you think Steve was a dick?
Oh, I know I was.
I loved it because I loved. I remember when I was in Cincinnati, we played you guys, and it was fun to watch. Like first off, you couldn't be tackled. That's the scary thing. I'm like, all right, we better have 7 dudes trying to tackle him because he's going to fight us to the death. And I think one time I was going out of bounds and almost going to like push you to get you out of bounds, and you almost stopped and looked at me like that was about a half a step from being super late and about to try to kill me. I was like, this is awesome. That's the Steve Smith I
know. Did you feel like you had to be, Steve? Is that something like a mentality you felt like you had to have? And when you lost it, did you lose it? And is that why you retired?
No, I mean, I'm 38 years old, bro. Like, you're 38 or 2 years from 40. That's not losing it. That's just
I'm talking about that.
Time.
I'm talking about that. The competitive stamina. You still can flip into that switch if you had to, or did you?
I don't. That switch that guy still needs. Bro, you know how much counseling I got to do to keep that guy down.
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm proud. Hey, we're proud of you.
Oh yeah. Listen. You laughing at me doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just admitting it because training Steve to go play football. That Steve is somebody who really, really wants to win at all costs, who's going to, great example. My 24-year-old son, he used to be ball boy with the Carolina Panthers when he was like 15, 16. And he was there for, the last couple of times of my career. And then my 16-year-old, who's 16 now, he was a ball boy when I was in Baltimore. And here's the cool part. So my son would go through my routine before the game, throwing the ball. And he said, but then when I came out of that tunnel, he said, I wouldn't even talk to him. He said, I was no longer his dad. I would not talk to him. And so my 2 oldest are out of the house and they come over on Sundays and we chill and have dinner and play cards. And the stories they tell, I used to, just kind of like, oh man. Now I laugh because I was like, bro, you needed to relax.
Well, being able to flip that switch, though, is a talent that not a lot of people have. And I think we learn about that as we see these documentaries. Like we're watching these documentaries. Michael Jordan had this ability to flip a switch and become this absolute savage. And now we're watching Tom Brady. I got a chance to play with Peyton. There's this ability to kind of flip a switch and become a completely transformed human to be fully focused on your task. I think it's an incredible thing as opposed to a bad thing. Although it probably got you into some awkward situations now with your kids, I'm hearing too.
Well, the problem is when you flip that switch, what damage do you do while the switch is on?
Okay.
Right. And there were times where my teammates or a guy missed the hole or a running back didn't hit the hole. And I tell the running back coach, get him out. Give me somebody who's going to hit this hole because I was I was the X, so I would have to go down and do force. Well, AJ was right there and he would adjust because he would read us. He would adjust. So that means that force, that safety would come down and be that dime linebacker. So they would have to readjust. And so that'd be my guy, right? I'm not going in there blocking the safety for a dude tiptoeing through the hole. Come on now. I expect the lineman to block on a pass play, just like the running back expects a wide receiver to block on a run play. So if I got to go block AJ, well, damn it, I can't. I'm going to give him my best shot, but it's only going to be so long, So, just having that. So, and so sometimes I would say stuff to guys, and now that I look at them, now that they're older, I kind of go like, dang, that was pretty mean. Let's see. There's a linebacker that the Buffalo Bills took over a good friend of mine, John Beeson. Remember, it was John Beeson and I forgot the linebacker. Well, he ends up being with Jacksonville when I was with Baltimore. And I held that grudge, and so he hit me, and I looked at him, and I just said something super inappropriate. And I could just see his heart being crushed. Like, I said so. I don't even want to repeat what I said, but I was just like.
Well, yeah, you buried kickers too at one point. You remember doing that? You're a terrible person towards all kickers and everything like that. What's that all about?
Well, I was a returner, and
yeah.
I was a returner, and let's be honest. Other than Justin Tucker, most kickers, they really don't have a place in this game.
You're an asshole. Hey, let's flip that switch, huh? Let's keep the asshole down.
I'm just saying sometimes Look, even I talked to Justin about it. We talk and we used to laugh. He was like, oh, I'm the most accurate. I said, Justin, do you understand if a guy like me doesn't set that catch up, you don't have a job.
Everybody understands that. Everybody understands
I
that.
know you kicked a 64-yarder, but somebody had to get your 40 yards prior to the 64. Right?
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
but when he hit that 64-yarder, I sent him a text and said, bro, you're the best. I hate to admit it. And for him to get that from me after the game, he knows I went out of my way because now I go out of my way to make sure people understand, one, that I respect them. I respect their game, but also, too, I'm also not going to say everybody's great. Not everybody's great on the football field. You talking about Taylor Heineke. I like him, but I'm a little suspect of him. Would you like to know why?
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's not bad, but you both will admit this, and you know this. A backup quarterback at some point will show you why they're backup.
Big moment, maybe even.
And it's like Geno Smith did when he stepped in for Russell Wilson in that game. Everybody's like, oh, man, Geno's ready. Geno did some stuff at the end that you go, that's why he's a backup. I'm not putting him down. I'm just saying backup quarterbacks, there is something inside of them, and there's a reason why they're a backup. And at some point throughout the game, at a big moment, they will show you in their body of work, he's a backup.
Not all you're saying, but most. Go ahead, AJ. Right? Yeah.
Yes, most.
Yeah, most. Go ahead, AJ.
Now, how about that? Like now that you're on TV and you're very honest and authentic, and it's awesome to watch. Like, do you ever think about, I wonder if this guy sees this? Is he going to be all right with it?
My internet's not frozen. I try not to like whatever I say is I'm staying with it, right? But people also don't understand. Like I've had people tell me they're like, you're just talking. I'll show you. Bro, this is my notes, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Like Dane Orlovsky.
Yeah.
Like I'm over here writing notes now
and watching film and everything.
I got the all 22 coaches, all of that stuff. So don't. I got a Pro Football Focus primary stat subscription.
Okay.
Come on now. I'm not sitting over here shilly-shallying. I'm doing real work.
That's why whenever you say what you say, whenever you say it, you have such conviction, and that's why I think it's so hysterical because you are on the NFL Network, right? Which I think we all understand the NFL Network the way it normally operates, right? It's not
Which is what? I still haven't gotten that memo.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think that is why it's so awesome. Because normally it's all, and the NFL Network does incredible stuff. I think they're by far, obviously, the best league network out of all the leagues. They create incredible content. NFL Films is amazing. But normally the conversation is super positive, super upbeat. And then when you come in and you look at Joe Thomas and you go, the Cleveland Browns stink. Because Baker Mayfield stinks. Like, that is so hysterical to me. Like, it really is, just all of it. Because I assume at some point you have to talk to the Browns organization because you work for the NFL Network. And I think that's what AJ was just referring to.
Sometimes there's some organizations don't want to talk to me. And that's like a restaurant. I'm good. There's a whole bunch of other restaurants out there.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's talk about tonight's game then.
Oh, yes. I'm excited about this game, too.
Okay, so Dalvin Cook, shoulder injury. We didn't think he was going to be back. He's coming back. Pittsburgh Steelers have Najee Harris, one for the Gipper, Ben Roethlisberger. Vikings favored by 3. How do you think this pans out? A lot of running, you think?
A lot of running. It's going to be a lot of running, right? You got Pittsburgh, who was giving up 133 points, 133 yards prior to last weekend, limited Lamar Jackson and that Ravens running game to 107. So, hey, they're no longer prom dates, but they're, you're getting to third base with them, right? So in their running game. But you really just got to wonder how much longer is this defense going to be able to sustain and overcome the running game. You look at the next couple of games, they have the Vikings tonight, they run the ball. They got Tennessee They don't have Derrick Henry, but they're going to attempt to run the ball. Then you got this flag football team coming in, the Kansas City Chiefs, who's going to run all over the place, right? They're going to throw the ball. They're going to run it a little bit and pass it. Then you got to play the Cleveland Browns. They're going to run the ball. And then you end with the Baltimore Ravens, run the ball. If they can manage to make it to the playoffs, bro, they're going to be exhausted because they're going to be in multiple mini car crashes. The weather's going to be bad. It's going to be a physical game, and then you have to take it up a notch in the playoffs. I just don't see how they emotionally don't get drained before they make it to the playoffs if they do, because all the teams they're playing against, except the Kansas City Chiefs, are going to run the ball.
Steve, what do you think about Big Ben? You still think he has some magic left that can try to go on a run?
I think he has some magic left. I think what's tough is they need a veteran wide receiver next year, no matter what they do with Big Ben, because Chase Claypool needs to add some more routes in his arsenal, right? He's super athletic, tall, big target, but he's kind of limited in the route game. That's why sometimes he disappears, right? They eliminate
Steve,
him.
can you explain what that means when you say he's limited in the route game compared to maybe like a Devontae Adams or something?
Well, I say limited route game. When you see the highlights of Chase Claypool, do you ever see him double moving anybody in the corner, like just falling down? Most of the time you see him big bodying, catching the ball at his highest point, running underneath and outrunning everybody. You don't really see him. You'll see him beat him on a slant, but you never see him running a post corner, right? You never see him doing some things where he can stop on a dime and give you 10 pennies. He's just one of those guys. He hasn't gotten there yet. Can he get there? I believe if you get a veteran like what Adam Thielen is to Justin Jefferson, where you can actually see a guy do work every single day and improve and run every single route, right? Devontae Johnson, he's a good kid. He can run, but sometimes he gets in his own head and he does something every couple of games that you just know he needs I think he needs some older veteran receiver.
Hey,
that can help him.
How important is that to every room, you think, for a team? I think like Adam Vinatieri, I got a chance to, just watch Adam Vinatieri every single day. Osmosis, I became fucking better. Just like his preparation, his practice, maybe going through things, whether it's off the field, on the field. Yep. A veteran in the room is huge, isn't it? And sometimes guys aren't ready to be that.
Well, yeah, like Juju. Juju is not a number one. He's not an alpha. However, if you have a number one, he's probably the best number two wide receiver in the game, right? Look at how productive he was with AB, right? Look how the example I use is look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin with the Buccaneers. Those two guys together keep defensive coordinators up at night because they also are a great combination. One can do something the other can't. The other can do something the other can't. So they help each other. It's a true marriage. One is a deficiency, it becomes their strength. The other deficiency becomes the other one's strength. So this 1-2 combination is outstanding.
Well, then you add in AB and Gronk,
and
Lenny, Tom Brady, and Leonard Fournette, and Rojo, and
they should play football and try to win a championship.
That group right there, yeah, they should give it a go. Go ahead, Ty.
Steve, do you think Odell going to LA is ultimately going to work out for them, or is what like Robert Woods did so much different than what Odell can do? So it ultimately, they're obviously missing Robert Woods big time.
I mean, it's going to take some time. I love what you said, and I think, before I answer, look at Robert Woods, how he looks with LA and how bad he looked in Buffalo. That just kind of shows you prior to that regime, if you have bad coaching, players won't improve.
Okay.
Right? So look how better Robert Woods looks now in LA. When they picked him up, you were like, oh, this is a good pickup, but what is he going to really bring to the table? Everything. He brings everything to the table. And you can see now he's hurt. Odell will never be Robert Woods, and Robert Woods will never be Odell because they're two different people. And Odell does things that Robert doesn't and vice versa. I'm not really sure. I don't know if we will see the full fruit of it because time is so limited. And Odell wasn't there when the foundation was being built. When you're playing with someone in training camp and you're eating and breaking bread with them, you start to pick up body language that lets you know what's going on. That's why a lot of times we joke a lot on camera, but we eat dinner together a lot. Colleen, Joe, myself, and Mike, while we're in town, because when we're on camera, we know when we're on stage, I can feel when Joe's about to say something without him saying anything. I can know when he's thinking something, or Joe said something that triggered Irv. And so I'll take a step back and let Irv have the table because he picked up something, and they haven't had that time with Odell. He's just they're figuring it out on the go. And sometimes you have some of these errors that they're having.
I mean, by the way, incredibly valid points here, because you ain't just, schlocking around over there. You're putting into work. You're really breaking down why things go good and why they don't. And also from your own personal experiences, how hard is it to build up that relationship with a quarterback? Aside from breaking bread, I got a chance to watch, obviously, Peyton in practice with Reggie and others that it was just reps. They would have so many reps. It felt like they couldn't get enough reps. Muscle memory for both of them. He was throwing before anybody was turning around. Perfect timing, everything like that. Then Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton, for whatever reason, they had this connection. It was fucking awesome to watch. And everybody thought Carson was going to potentially be the second coming there of that relationship. Hopefully they get to that. But what does it take, you think, for that? What is the easy, all right? Carson Wentz is good guy.
Don't you want to get his opinion?
No, not on Carson. I don't. But I do what
I actually like Carson.
Okay, good.
I like Carson and I like Frank. The problem that I have is you're paying someone a lot of money and you have to limit him on his opportunities to throw the ball. That's why I have a problem with that as a receiver. Is you're telling me I can't catch, so you're going to pay me. Receivers don't get paid if they can't catch. So why do quarterbacks get money if you got to limit them to throw the ball?
Okay, all right. There's a lot of questions that go in there. It's a great point.
I'm just asking.
Hey, we'll take that into consideration going forward. But what does it take, do you think, to build that wide receiver quarterback chemistry the most? Is it learning about each other and hanging out?
I mean, yeah, but it's really just it's in practice, right? You could dislike somebody at times. You could dislike the behavior, but don't devalue the person.
Oh, hey, write that one down. You wrote that one down?
No, you need to write it down.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Can you do that one more time? I'm so sorry. I didn't. I just thought maybe book. You should put that thing in there. That was a great line right there. That was it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't have to. What was it? Dislike someone, devalue.
You don't have to dislike someone's behavior. You don't have to like someone's behavior, dislike someone's behavior, and devalue them.
See, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that one's written down because that's an incredible piece because that is actually a whole world conversation actually.
Oh, I know.
At this particular time. Yeah, I mean, you're preaching right now. That is an incredible line. I'm excited to see Odell and Matthew Stafford, though. Maybe they can get that thing going. Sean McVay seems to be a good guy.
Can we, my man over there, we not going to address this Rose Bowl thing? You going to act like it's not going to happen?
What happened? I did not know the information. What took place?
Hey, the Rose Bowl. Who's playing in the Rose Bowl?
What's up? Why don't you let him know? Who is it?
I don't know. Who's playing?
I don't either.
LA's not playing there in the Rose Bowl anymore. They got their own stadium.
I think Ohio State might be playing.
Ohio State.
Bucks.
Is Ohio State playing Utah?
Yeah, Ohio State playing Utah.
What do you think?
Go Utes.
What I think is I just loaded my gun.
Whoa. What does that mean? You think it's on? You think it's on wherever they're over in Utah?
I mean, this ain't.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Saw it early.
Oh, no. I'll see if you scared.
Some tough physical players out there.
Uh-oh. Are you scared, AJ?
What's wrong, Hawk?
You scared, AJ?
Looks like you're quaking in your boots. Uh-oh.
You was scared.
Someone get this guy a diaper. He's pooping his pants.
OH!
No chance to you.
Yo, that's why Utah's going to bury him.
If Ohio State can't stop the run, Steve, you're right. If Ohio State can't stop the run, I am worried.
What up there?
I'm not worried about them losing the game.
What are you guys
I
doing?
just think that hopefully they don't give up too many yards on the ground.
Hey, we doing public push-ups for this thing or what?
Is that what it is? Pat likes public push-ups.
Public push-ups.
Pat is inside wearing a tank top with mozzarella cheese coming out the top.
Well,
no,
hey, by the way, it's good cheese. Hey, how's the gabagool?
You like that, huh? You did. Look at him. No, I'm not doing no damn push-ups. What push-ups gonna do?
Public push-ups are better, Steve. So, like when you're on camera, AJ will text.
Why?
Well, because no matter what you're doing, you got to go down and you just got to hit one. And everybody's like, what are you doing? Oh, the Utah Utes lost to the Ohio State Buckeyes. AJ Hawk. See, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Mentality.
I think it's a good idea.
Push up.
What, you guys put a little cake on it? You guys put a little, what do we got? What do we got on the Utah? When's that game?
That's all.
New Year's Day.
Of course.
You're not an active listener, Pat.
Me, I don't watch college football. I know nothing, dude. I know nothing about it.
No, it's not college football. It's when your team is playing somebody that happens to be on the actual Zoom. Look, I'm excited, right? And some people say, oh, you've never been there. You're right, we haven't. The last couple of years, we're moving up in the world. So, hey, that's what we're doing. We beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Bang. Now we're going to Rose Bowl. Bang. So we're just moving up in the world. Hey, that's what black folks do. We move up slowly and surely.
Why don't you coach? Would you ever coach?
No.
Too much time?
100 hours a week for 120? Nah, brother. I don't like that's why they can't find workers right now. That minimum wage is not for me. I need more money than that for 100 hours.
Hey, and it's expected too. Like if you don't do it, you almost get run out of the building. Like, hey, how much film can we watch? Literally, how much?
Like, first of all, if nothing good happens after midnight driving, how are you gonna watch film after midnight and still accomplish anything?
That's a great thought.
Like you only could watch so much film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can have 100 plays, but if you call in the same 4 or 5, it don't matter.
Well, and also the coaches never see their family ever. You're talking about playing cards with your kids and stuff like that. Coaches don't do that. There's 6 months. They go into a cave of hibernation. Then they got 1 month off.
Here's a question I got, AJ. Okay. Y'all had all these plays, but at the end of the day, Mike Will, Dog Cross would be the go-to play, right? Like y'all had plays that y'all went to that no matter what exotic stuff you had, when it was 2 minutes, it was like y'all run the same play over and over and over again. Would you agree?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. You come to expect to what's coming a lot of times, and the offense would too at times.
Yeah. So
you're right. I agree. Pat knows. I hate when people overcomplicate things. I think football a lot of times is overcomplicated for simple, basic things. Coaches want to make themselves useful and make it sound like it's way more extreme than it really is.
All right, let's make this as simple as possible as we have to wrap this up. Utah State getting 6.5 points.
Well, Utah State.
Sorry. University of Utah. The Utes, dude.
I didn't say
The Utes, dude. Utes.
Hey, don't throw the hooks up.
No, that's not the hooks. It's a U's on his hat right there. There's 2 U's. There's 2 U's right there on the hat. Utes, man. Obviously, I was going to say the team that stinks, Utah State, gets a chance to watch the Utah Utes take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Utah Utes getting 6.5 points in the Rose Bowl. You don't need the points winning straight up, Steve?
I'm not a gambler. Life is a gamble, right? It
write
really
that down,
is.
Pat.
I'm going to write that down.
Like it is. Is it not?
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
Especially now.
Life's a gamble. Yeah.
So listen, I just like the fact, I'm willing to risk my belief in the school that gave me the opportunity. So that's all I'm saying.
Do you need the 6.5 points?
Bro, when I look in the soul of a man, I don't need the advantage. I just look in the soul of a man.
All right, so you got the Utes. AJ has Ohio State. We'll have to figure out what is on the line. We can't thank you enough for joining us.
We got to have him back. Hey, Pat, we got to have him back then right after the game.
January 2nd.
Absolutely. And if we lose, you will not have me on camera.
We'll see you tonight on camera, ladies and gentlemen. NFL Network analyst, legend, Steve Smith Sr. Man, that was tough. Utah State, that's on me.
No, you're talking about from the state of Utah.
You were talking Jordan Love.
Yeah,
weren't
Jordan
you?
Love has COVID. We were just talking about it out there. So
I'm so bummed. Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, earlier in the week.
Kurt Benkert's been taking all the snaps.
Yeah.
Oh, Kurt?
Yeah.
Is he going to punt too? No, you guys got to go punter. Let's get to a break. He goes on this Thursday Night Football, man.
He's awesome.
I love that he has all those notes.
It's awesome. People probably assume that he doesn't have all that. Like, if you listen to what he's actually saying, you can tell he does pay attention and watch closely.
Well, and that's why he feels so good about what he's saying. Oh, what are you going to say to me? Have you watched more film than me about it? No, you haven't. All right, see you later.
Like, that thing about Claypool is very interesting just to think about, because really when you do watch his highlights, it is him like jumping up, making a play down the sideline, and now you kind of.
And he's a wide receiver, so he's watching the all-22 on the wide receivers. Because AJ, I assume you watch the linebackers when you watch the game?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah. All right, I'm happy you joined us. I can't wait to see you for Ohio State. OH!
Yeah, New Year's Day.
I can beat the Utah Utes. I doubt it, pal. In the Rose Bowl, you guys are in trouble, bro. Especially if you keep leaving ducks on the pond like that with the OHCIO. We're back.
Well, especially if they play Utah State as well.
Well, they ain't. What are you talking? From the state of Utah, the Utah Utes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, every once in a while I'm a flub a word.
Yeah. Sue me.
Sorry about it. We're back in 4 minutes. Cheers. Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially?
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack, Lily.
No,
it's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were.
Oh, yeah.
When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
Yeah, I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died. With your
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're going to make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those moments.
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
Steelers potentially staring down a losing season for the first time in 20 years.
Jesus. Damn.
Wow, damn. Moment of silence, dude. I should stand for this one. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's a day, 20 years is a long time.
7 more minutes.
Today's sponsor is Public.com.
Well, FanDuel, but
and FanDuel.
FanDuel mostly.
FanDuel.
Pretty big day, but also shout out
Public.com, an investing app where you can buy stocks, follow investors, and share ideas. I joined Public to see my portfolio, and you can search at Pat McAfee in the app to see his portfolio. Here's why Public is the best place to invest. You can follow other users' portfolios, including Pat, Shaq, Tony Hawk, AJ Hawk's on there, and thousands more. The app is free, and you can start with as little as $1.
What? You're not what?
Come on. What? I mean, thank you for the financial advice, but I am not on
It's
that.
not
financial
advice.
Fucking prick.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You asshat. Don't sell your data or information.
That trading thing is nothing to mess with.
No.
It's not financial advice, dude.
One super boost gets to his head. You'll get a free slice of stock when you go to public.com/Pat McAfee to download the Public app. Get started today and make sure you follow Pat and AJ after he downloads the app, probably tomorrow. Valid for U.S. residents 18 plus, subject to account approval. See public.com/disclosures, not investment advice. Once again, make sure you go to public.com/Pat McAfee for a free stock slice.
Welcome back to the show. We're about 20 minutes away from this thing ending. Me hopping on a plane and flying to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. Tinseltown.
I'm going to have to deal with that traffic out there. I'm landing at an interesting airport, I think. I don't know.
Which one?
Out there. Hey, listen, AJ, I mean, let's
There's you have multiple options.
There's a lot of airports out there. Yeah, a lot of them. That's a long flight. This is a
Take a chopper from the airport directly to the Staples Center like Kobe used to.
Maybe Bill Burr will pick me up. You know what I mean? Maybe Bill Burr will pick me up in his helicopter, fly me from there to there.
Smart. Yeah.
I don't think he will. Not enough time, or he would ever do that in general. And also, I'm not a big helicopter guy.
Coach JB and his Maserati, maybe.
Window works now.
I'm actually pretty pumped to kind of get on the plane and just see the internet and everybody's texts and stuff. It's been a very cool day today, AJ.
Yeah, I would assume so, yeah.
I mean, you got dunked on there pretty hard by the Utah Utes, bro.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, you did. You look so scared.
Did you? You didn't even know that he went to Utah?
No, yeah, did. I knew he went to Utah, and I saw his hat the whole time, too.
So I saw the hat. I thought it was a cool brand. I was like, oh, pretty cool brand. I can't wait to ask him about it actually at the end. I'm like, oh, whose hat is it? And then it naturally came up. That's awesome. I obviously knew Ohio State was playing Utah.
Yeah, for sure. It's the Rose Bowl.
Pac-12.
Granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, Big Ten, Pac-12, Rose Bowl. They've been together since the 1980-something agreement.
Who's Urban rooting for?
Oh, yeah. He's coached both, yeah.
But he is Chop House.
Yeah.
Chop House.
Does he have one in Utah?
I don't think there's a Utah Chop House. Might be a little bit different.
He's probably just rooting for whoever throws the best after party.
No, he's rooting. Who's got the best? He wants everybody to play well.
Yeah. Who's DJing where, you know?
We'll go to the phone calls here. Is he a
guy.
DJ actually? Does he? Is it his aux cord at the Chop House when he walks in? So whenever they're dancing, it's like to his music.
Yeah, tosses his phone over. Plug me in, bitch.
What if?
Just whoever's standing there. It could be me, you know?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah.
Hey, who knows what he does? Because if that is what he says, that's like the least of his problems at that goddamn Chop House.
Well, what about? I mean, we asked a question about Jacksonville this late in the season with how their record is. I guess he is and does warrant at least a little bit of headlines, but what a wild time. Let's go to the phone calls here. AJ Cole and Carlson, the kicker and the punter for the Raiders, got signed to big extensions yesterday and today. Congratulations, boys. Great for the brand. AJ Cole, this is via Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus at My Sports Update. The Raiders are finalizing a 4-year extension with punter AJ Cole per Mike Garafolo. Deals should come in at around $3 million per year. So Vegas locks up their kicker and punter on the same night. Congrats to both of those gentlemen. $18.4 million going to Daniel Carlson, the kicker. $4 million signing bonus and $10 million guaranteed. 10.2 highest paid kicker or third highest paid kicker in the NFL. Congrats to those boys.
Yeah.
Kickballs get paid good money. What? Good life.
What?
I'm happy for them. Incredibly happy for them. And tonight, we got a big-time game that AJ Hawk Super Boost will hit for, and I can't wait for it. Let's go to Mustard in Ohio. Mustard, what's going on, pal?
Hey, Pat, boys, how you guys doing?
Hey, keep it moving, Mustard, all right?
Hey, moving on. Hey, I want to let you guys know That's fantastic announcement you had today. A1. Another thing, Pat, I'd like to tell you, you are probably one of the best interviewers I've seen on TV for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Your style is along like David Faraday, and I love that type of interviewer. You can get people so relaxed and talk about themselves and about what they're doing so easily. It's great.
Thank you, Mustard. No more of that, but I don't need people telling me I'm good. Okay, now is the time I actually need to be humbled. So I appreciate Mustard, and I appreciate the conversation and the kind words. And Mustard, you're the best. Thanks for calling and congratulating us all. It is interesting because, I asked some long-winded questions to people. But I ask long-winded questions to people because I want them to know like what I'm thinking they're thinking for an initial answer. I'd like them to expand upon it on the other side. So I get buried often by people that are kind of new listeners or new to the show, and I don't think I'll ever be able to change. This is how I am in real life, by the way. In real life, I'll give like a ba-da-da, I know ba-ba-ba, I know ba-ba-ba, I'd like to know ba, like basically. And it's very annoying. It's a lot, I understand. But I think it does potentially peel back a layer in people's brains to think like, okay, I can't just say that. They're going to expect me to say something at least different. And sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. There's some terrible conversations I've been a part of, and we've all seen them, AJ. We have all seen them.
Unfortunately, I have not seen a lot of the ones that you talk about that you say are not that good. But yeah, you're right. I mean, how you lay it out, a lot of times you probably give the person some time to think about, oh, okay, and then maybe think about it. Maybe it pops a story in their head that they had forgotten about for the last couple of years or something.
I don't even think about that because halfway through most questions, I'm like, I'm sick of hearing me right now, but there's no way out yet. I'm in too deep. Yeah. I can't get out yet, and that happens on a regular basis on the show. And you all get to watch it, and you all deal with it, and I appreciate that a lot. And thank you for your kind words, Mustard.
Good guy, Mustard.
Thank you, Mustard.
Thank you, Mustard.
Great name.
Mustard's a great nickname. What do you think that guy does?
Is it a nickname, though?
He threw gas in high school.
Yeah,
ball player.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
threw fucking gas.
You're right.
Let's go to Tommy in New York. What's going on, Tommy?
Hey, Pat. Hey, the long-time watcher, first-time caller. Congrats on the big deal.
We appreciate you, Tommy. What do you want to talk about, brother?
How you doing?
Keep it moving a little late. Stumbled out of the gates in the first call, but it's okay. Here we go.
Yesterday, actually, on NFL Live, Keyshawn said that he doesn't believe that there's anything wrong or anything happened with Rodgers. So I just want to get your take on that. If he doesn't think that it's broken or anything.
Okay, so that's interesting. Keyshawn said that. I have a lot of respect for Keyshawn, by the way. Former player, has had an incredible media career. Maybe that's his thoughts on it for whatever reason. I also heard some other people talk about how he's just doing this to draw attention to himself, and it's fake in the media, on actual television, on shows that are respected and people that we have respect for in that whole thing. What would he be doing that for? Just so that he can fly to L.A.? Oh, that's what he's doing. That's why he did it. Great idea. Potentially fake a broken toe, have a limp in the middle of a game, do the whole thing, go through the pain so he can fly back to LA. Why would he be lying about a potential broken toe? And has he ever actually lied about it? He just said, this is not something that's going to hold me back, but this is something I'm going through. Why is it such a big deal, you think?
Well, okay, first off, what did Keyshawn say?
I don't know. If we listen to what old buddy said, he said that his toe is fine, is what he said, which might be, by the way, in Aaron's mind, I think he agrees with that sentiment, depending upon how you take it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could do this with every person in the NFL that ever is injured then, right? You could say they're faking it.
Yeah, or you could just say, like, oh, his shoulder's fine, which means, oh, fine by he's going to play. Like, maybe that's what Keyshawn...
Maybe that's what, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be paying such a big deal because he is playing. Maybe that's what Keyshawn was saying. I didn't see it. I didn't read or watch what he was doing. But, yeah, I have respect for Keyshawn. I don't know what he was getting at. But, yeah, obviously it's caused him a lot of pain. We'll see, I think, after this bye. Does it get, let's say the fourth quarter, is he still maybe limping a little bit when whatever wears off of his toe?
Yeah, and surgery is still potentially on the table, allegedly, from what I've been told. We've been told.
Yeah, Bobby Griffin said basically the same thing.
Yeah,
he was just like,
sticks.
yeah, this wouldn't be the first time Aaron lied to us and all this bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
triple
sticks. I saw RG3 say it was a promo, though. It was like a promo. I've enjoyed RG3 on TV, actually, but he did say something along the lines of, like, he wanted to get it. I enjoyed where RG3 was coming from, you know, but it did get sent to me like 7,000 times. And it was like,
I think his was more of like, I don't see the toe being an issue. type of thing.
Exactly. It was like kind of cutting a pro, just like Keyshawn, I think. Like he's going to be fine. Like we seen the way he's played. Who knows though? I don't know what's in their heart, and it's all sports entertainment, baby.
That's right. Yeah. RG3's got a good book coming out. It sounds like I watched his little trailer promo for it.
Really? What's it about?
AJ.
The Washington football team, right?
Come on. What's his deal?
What is the deal? What do you mean he put out a promo video for it? I was like, this is the greatest promo to sell your book that comes out in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, but you knew dropping that into the conversation is going to lead to me having to say, well, obviously his book has come with multiple massive reactions to things that have come out. Like, you know that. Like, that's what you want us to get to. And that's why you are, the person you are.
Scumbag.
Yeah, that's
I didn't bring it up. Guess who brought up his name? Connor.
Shut up, dude. We were talking about Rodgers. You brought it up.
I didn't even know you said you called him Bubby Griffin. I had no idea what you're talking about.
There's a statue.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Foxy's favorite statue, man.
Yeah.
He's made a video about it.
It's a good statue, dude.
It is good.
And I like him on TV, so let's not.
I like him too. We were just talking about the Rodgers thing, and AJ had to take it to a scumbag
I'm trying to
level.
sell his book for him. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I didn't know you were his goddamn agent, prick.
Oh, whoa.
I'm just trying to help. Like you're trying to help the earth, Connor. I'm just trying to help people. I'm sorry. I don't want to tear them down.
Everybody's trying to help everybody, okay? I hope he sells a bunch of books. I hope everybody's okay.
All right.
All right, let's go.
I guess
everybody
plant trees.
Call him a piece of shit, AJ. Call him.
I'm gonna definitely read it.
Let's go to Nick in New Jersey. Jeez Louise.
You don't
Nick,
know
what's
how to
going on?
read,
5RNG phone line. What do you want to talk about, brother? Jeez.
Hey, Pat. How you doing?
Give him a...
I was calling about the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually. I was curious if they draft a veteran or get a veteran in the free agency, should they still draft a rookie this next year in the draft, like just to have someone else there other than Mason Rudolph? Also, congrats to you and the boys. Just wanted to say thank you for the show. I've been battling cancer for the last 6 months, and I watch it every time I get a treatment.
Nick, keep kicking ass. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of that. Thank you for watching. I have no idea what the Steelers are going to do in the future. I think Diggs thought maybe they're going to get somebody new like Matt Corral, but maybe there'll be a veteran quarterback. What are your thoughts, Tone?
The way that you listen to Tomlin talk in press conferences, it looks like he wants a veteran, and it looks like he wants a veteran who can move a little bit. So I personally, if Ben moves on, I think you clear out the entire quarterback room. You sign a veteran, maybe a couple veterans.
Give me Russell and Aaron.
Marcus
I'm not
Mariota.
even Bortles. See, I'm not against that idea.
He looked good in that one quarter.
But he might get hurt in that one quarter, so you're going to need a second guy. Maybe Fitz.
Ooh.
2.
Oh.
But I think if Ben goes, you need to get rid of everyone in the quarterback room.
Okay, so if Ben goes, there'll be a lot of money opened up as well, and the team will still be set up for success.
They have money. They're like in the top 10 as far as money they have for next year's.
And, with the veteran quarterback, I think everyone that's available is one that can move.
Yeah.
Potentially available. We don't know. Obviously, we said Aaron just to fuck with everybody there, and Ty in specific. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron. I don't think anybody does. Sounds like it's much more promising for Green Bay, especially with the way everything's going. Hey, you let Baumgartner. Hey, Baumgartner is part of a Green Bay Packer video. Huh?
That's right.
He's playing. Yeah. Hey, I would like to be in on a little bit more conversation. Like, for instance, a holiday video with fucking my friend Baumgartner. That's awesome.
Yeah, wasn't he was all over the facility? Was he delivering mail and everything?
Yeah.
Doing the whole
Promoting that
nines.
book, man. He knows what he's doing.
Half Kevin Malone, half Baumgartner.
We have some updated information on the Green Bay Packers. Randall Cobb, who hurt his groin, will be out for a while, but not for the season, it sounds like. Head coach Matt LaFleur told reporters just moments ago via Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus at My Sports Update. He suffered this in their last game versus the Rams. He had been coming on strong in a great role for the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, the offense will still be able to go without Cobb, but this is quite a hit for a while. What does that mean? Just like Jair Alexander, Smith, and Bakhtiari, is this team gearing up for a second, season starting with a bunch of stars later in the year? It feels like.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like right as the playoffs roll around, they are going to be close to full strength. And that stinks for Cobb, but like you said, he's not out the whole time. Aaron Jones is coming back from an injury, so you got him, and A.J. Dillon's obviously stepped up quite a bit as of late. So I think, it stinks, but the Packers are going to be just fine on offense.
Yeah, we shall see, because Aaron slings that thing. AJ, we got about 2 minutes until this show ends, and another show on radio will go. It'll be much better than ours. And then Hammer Dahn will be 15 minutes after this show. I assume they'll be talking about your Super Boost and what's going to happen tonight. Do you have any final thoughts here with some time on this beautiful, massive Thursday before we roll into a Feel Good Friday with you in studio tomorrow?
Yeah, so who all is going out to LA with you?
You know,
You don't know yet.
We'd like to keep that. Yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I didn't mean to ask a question that is very sensitive, I guess, who you're traveling with. I know that's tough.
Well, it's
to put out there.
Yeah, it is an interesting thing because there's a lot of weirdos.
Oh, I'm with you. No, I'm looking forward to being there tomorrow. Obviously, I'm glad you got to finally let out your announcement. I know it was killing you. You were almost probably leaked it 50 to 60 times, I would imagine, over the last week. Is that right?
Well, today I said FanDuel Igloo in the first hour. It's like, well, nobody knew that. They knew the Igloo was happening. They didn't know the FanDuel Igloo was happening. And then I said $14.97 million watched that month. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, let's just go ahead. Let's get this thing out. Today was the worst, obviously, but the last, I would say, month, man, because everybody that's watching is a part of this. You know, like they're a massive part of it. So, and I like to at least hope that they feel the same way, and I think people do. That's why so many people were guessing. So it's hard for me, in the way I'm built, not to just say, hey, like, you guys are part of something that's very fucking cool that is probably going to change the way things are done for a long time. I think it's at least going to be a dent in what's going on in the world and maybe the transition into the future state of media. And I wanted to let people know that, but goddamn, it was quite a task keeping that little muffle right there. You know what I mean? When people were doing things and decisions were being made at places, and I was like, how is the MLB losing money? You know, how is, like, and I'm in, you know what I mean? Like, what I would assume they have a lot more leverage than I do in this entire thing. It's just, thank you to FanDuel, thank you to everybody, and I'm very thankful that I can just shoot the shit. Show is ending on radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. What a day, AJ. It was a crazy day. You know, hopped on a crazy train for the crazy day on this rock.
Is Tim's in studio or Tim's at the
Tim was in the
warehouse?
office, yeah. I don't know if he's still here. He would come in the morning and then he'd leave to go do whatever, you know, blue-collar handyman work he had to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it was... He wanted to fix my my truck yesterday. He said, I noticed a little oil dripping, you know. I could take care of that or whatever. So I get out of yesterday morning whenever I'm heading down here to work or whatever, I go out my garage, Tim McAfee's body's hanging out from underneath my truck. I'm like, all right, Tim, I appreciate you, man. He's going to have to retire. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. You know, my mom texted me and said that she's bawling her eyes out and she's, you know, a big, long, very sincere message. It was very cool to hear from my mom, but what are they going to do, you know? And I tried to tell Foxy this yesterday because Foxy was the only one that knew about any of this, basically all the money and everything, until this morning when everybody else watched it or whatever, as live as everybody else did. And Foxy was like, this doesn't even feel real. And I was like, yeah, it's not like traffic changes, dude. It's not like the weather changes.
Yeah.
It's not like you just wake up and it's 70 and sunny every single day. But I think the fact that we have the capability to give back to a lot of people now and do a lot of shit and hopefully open up a little bit of freedom for people and peace of mind for people, it's fucking cool, man. It's really, 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 really cool. And I don't know what Tim and Sally are going to do. They'll probably just Tim will probably buy, you know, a couple $100,000 worth of hammers.
Yeah, start building shit.
Yeah, start
Yep.
building stuff.
Gotta start building.
Like Legos.
I think Tim will still be moving. He'll still be fixing. He'll still be working plenty.
Yeah, so basically, as soon as it came on the camera, he like looked at me and was like, or on the video, he was like, no, fuck off, basically. He was like, no, it's happening or whatever. I don't know what to tell you. So it's a crazy world. Connor told me immediately afterwards, putting $250K on the Steelers tonight.
Hell yeah. Can't wait. Come on, Steel City, come through for me.
Oh, it was so funny.
We never asked. Does Steve give predictions? We should have asked him a prediction.
He'll give it tonight, Thursday Night Football. They do it. It's FanDuel odds, by the way. I think on that.
Yep.
I think they have FanDuel odds too, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
I'm also a part of this deal. I have the ability to go dive into a potential fund. You know,
For what?
a little bit more say in some stuff too. You know.
With FanDuel.
Yeah, we kind of get to operate as like our own thing. It's pretty cool.
I would imagine you would. You should be able to operate as kind of as your own thing.
Yeah. We'll always be able to be that, but I'll be able to be like, oh, that's dope. You want to do blah, blah, blah? And they'll be like, hopefully, yeah. And it's like, all right, well, just if you talk about it, just say FanDuel or something. Okay. All right, see you later, dude.
Cool.
That's the best for the internet, and Bill Burr talked about this on the show because AJ asked about one of his Sherry's Berries ads from like 10 years ago or whatever. The companies that get it, like FanDuel gets it with us. They're,
do your thing.
Do your thing, man. Just whatever, you know? And like SeatGeek is our first ever partner. They've been around for a long time. They're the same thing. Like, yeah, just do whatever you got to do. And it's awesome when you get to work with people that get that, you know? Because
it's pretty rare. I feel like that's very rare, especially with where this thing has come to. Like, it's pretty rare that you have the freedom that you have and that they understand. They're cool and they get it and they've been along for the ride.
So now there's like a lot of speculation on a platform deal because Amazon announced that they're going to have a lineup of studio shows now that they're getting into the NFL thing. And, you know, Amazon and I have had a chat at one point. It was just like a learning process. I think that would be a conversation that would be warranted because they do have NFL rights. But I am not signing up for the entire process I just went through again. You know what I mean? Like, so that would have to be something that hopefully maybe would happen, a platform conversation, but it is very nice that we have the freedom to be like, nah, I don't really want to.
Yeah, you don't need it. You don't have to do anything.
Anything.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of all of it.
I can just give it all away too. Like there's no boss, you know, like I can just, let's do give away a $1.5 million. Okay. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. You know, like it's cool. It's a joke. I lived the dumbest life of all time and it's only continuing. And the only reason it happens is because of you guys, man. You amazing fucking people. I really appreciate you. Everybody that watches, everybody that listens. I'm going to go hop on a plane, probably disappear for at least, a few hours, kind of get away. And, I'll probably be at an altitude physically, mentally, spiritually.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably have a little music playing in there, just laying down, taking it all in. I got real emotional while that video was running. I was crying. I haven't cried in a long time.
You're not the only one.
It's good for you.
I haven't cried in a long time. It was cool. It's cool shit. Heavy, Nick. Listen to
It was.
By the way, that was the Nick voice of trying to console Zito after he took the top off of that RV.
Yeah, that's right.
I heard that tone right there.
Mhm.
You did
It's
what you
okay,
had to do,
dude.
man. They told
It's
you
okay,
to do it.
dude.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you,
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I think it's great you had that in video when Zeke did that. What if Zeke, when I think Nick's like, Zeke, it's gonna be all right. What if Zeke's like, I got a pound of coke in my pocket, Nick. This is not all right.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Yeah, it's not exactly that, but
it was close.
Along those lines.
It was a scramble situation.
I went back.
Get the backpack.
Guys, come on in.
Get the backpack now.
I went back to
what are
obviously
those dogs doing? Huh?
there was just some CBD in there. They're bomb dogs, by the way. Big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to know where they're trained at. I went back to West Virginia early in my NFL career, and hung out with the old crew. And we were driving downtown, that was back when you would drive down, just leave your car and figure out how to get back home, And we rolled through a stop sign or whatever, and one of the kids in the car, rest in peace, by the way, love this dude, says, and I mean, this is probably a sign, and he would understand, appreciate this. Hey, let's make sure we're doing full stops at the stop sign. And everybody in the car was like, why? Well, he's like, I got about 4 or 5 felonies in my pocket. We do not need to ruin Pat's life right now. And I just started like crying, laughing, thinking about, all right, too much honesty. Okay, we don't need to hear that right now. But also, yeah, let's make sure we fucking look both ways and do the whole thing there. That's funny to think in the RVs, going, this is not good, man. This is not good. My actual name is oh, it'd be awesome. All right. It's been an incredible ride this entire time, and I can't thank everybody. We're back tomorrow for a Feel Good Friday with AJ in studio. I'll be here. We were going to have Charles Barkley. He's no longer on.
Last second schedule adjustment.
Is that because he found out AJ was in studio?
Probably.
I don't know, but see, I was actually thinking, like, should we give him a heads up that I'll be popping up in a hotel on a screen, and AJ will be ruining everything. Okay? AJ, I have everything figured out right now.
I'm already worried about walking into that thing.
Why don't you just do it from over there?
Yeah, it's gotten
that's what
worse.
we'll do.
It's because every time, I'm not going to make it a thing. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm not going to knock anything down.
Do it from over there, and then we'll just move TV with my thing right here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah.
What if Caliendo comes on just as Charles Barkley the entire time?
Come on.
So we have Charles. It'll be a phone call.
Yeah.
So we might have Charles Barkley on the show tomorrow.
See?
We shall see.
Maybe.
We shall see. All right, we can't thank you all enough. Cheers, bye. See you tomorrow. Enter the hashtag PMS FanDuel Family contest on Twitter, giving away $1.5 million. How are we going to do it? TBD.
Yeah.
Keep
Good
your
luck, Phil.
eyes peeled. Thank you all so much. You're the best. I am eternally grateful for everything you have allowed all of us to do, myself included. Cheers.